Papa John's Cubs pregame live from the Crosstown Cup.
All right, who's ready for some interleague baseball from the south side of the greatest city in the world? Cubs and White Sox. Tee it up the next 4 days on both sides of town. We got all the games for you. A Comcast Sportsnet starting with tonight's opener at U.S. Cellular Field. Hello, welcome to Papa John's Cubs pregame live. We get you set for the Crosstown Cup along with Todd Hollingsworth at Beltonville Melton. I'm David Kaplan. Different look to the city battle this year. Cubs and Sox will play on 4 straight days at both ballparks. Bill, do you like this, or would you rather get back to 6 games between the two?
You know, I've always liked the Crosstown. 6 games is fine. But 4 games, you're talking about interleague play and everything now taking the mix, so it's kind of balanced out. Maybe after 4 games, people kind of get burned out, but generally these games have been pretty good. So you're really having 6 pretty good baseball games by 2 teams that are actually just starting to, White Sox just starting to pick it up. Both of them kind of battling in their divisions and starting to play better ball right now.
I think right now I like it. I like all the energy, all the action, all being in one pot. This not being broken up by something happening in the middle, 3 games here and then it may be switching or more. I like it all being right here, condensed in, and I'm hoping it's exciting baseball. I love it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We'll see. We haven't done it yet, but I think right now my initial impression is I want more of this small little sample size where everything's kind of riding on it for the Cubs and for the city. Right here in 4-game series.
All right, these 2 teams appear to be headed in opposite directions. Cubs have lost 7 of 9, snapped a 6-game skid yesterday. White Sox have won 9 of 12, back to 500 for the first time since very early in April. Let's look back at the all-time series between the 2 rivals. Cubs won the first meeting 16 years ago. Sox lead the all-time series 49-41. Cubs are 7 games under 500 over at U.S. Cellular Field. And the White Sox have won 16 of the last 24 meetings in the series. Those numbers trending south, Bill.
Yeah, you never know what happens in these games. I mean, to me, it kind of breaks down to more of individual performances. I mean, whatever team has that big-time individual performance, whether it's a home run in the bottom of the 9th or a pitch ball game where there's only 2 hits, some great defensive plays. That pretty much defines, I think, what the Crosstown is on either side.
All right, yesterday in Cincinnati, tempers flared a bit between David DeJesus and Johnny Cueto, the Reds starter. It began at the start of the ball game when DeJesus took his time getting into the batter's box. Cueto clearly annoyed by it. This is the start of the game. DeJesus is taking his time. Johnny Cueto, hands on hip. Now he's going to turn. He's going to give him another look and go, "What's the deal, dude? Let's go. Let's play." Finally, DeJesus gets in the box, and later in the game, right over the top of his head.
Nah, I don't like it. I never have. There aren't too many people going to convince me of anything other than that. You don't throw at a man's head. I know David's laughing that off. I know it's to the backstop. I know it's 12 feet over his head. But why go there? If you're going to send a message at the hip, the thigh, the ribs, whatever. Move his feet in the box. I'm all about it. I'm all about pitchers being able to control the inside corner. I love the gamesmanship between the hitter and the pitcher. It should be there. We talk about this all the time, but for me, you stay away from the head. I don't like it. Too many bad things can happen. A little bit of a slip, and again, I know the argument is, well, what are you talking about? It's 12 feet over his head. It's all the way to the backstop. Well, if he holds on to it a second longer, you might have an issue there, and I just don't want to see it happen.
Bill, how about your thoughts? You were a hitter. You had to deal with back when you played. They would throw right in the ribs if the guy hit a home run in front of you.
Well, that's the problem I had with Dick Allen hitting 37 one year. I got drilled about 20 times. But, again, it's all about gamesmanship. I don't particularly like, Todd said, I don't particularly like throwing over anybody's head. If you're going to do it, throw it behind them. You saw a little smile on DeJesus' face. Saw a little bit of a smile on Cueto's. I don't know if they have any history. I don't think it's important. It's just, here's a pitcher on the mound, a little bit frustrated. There's nothing else you can do, but the worst thing you can do is throw a baseball anywhere around it, but that's something that can hurt you pretty bad.
All right, let's talk about Matt Garza, who did not have as good a start in his second opportunity to the post. Let's hear from what Garza had to say after yesterday.
It's kind of BS on his part, just total immature, and if he has something to say about it, he knows where to find my locker, and definitely I'll find his. So I took total disrespect out of that one. Zeus has never done anything wrong. He just plays the game the right way. So Cueto has any problem, he could throw at me, and I'll definitely return the favor. So I didn't like that one bit. And, like I said, we don't retaliate. We just take game by game, and we try to better ourselves. And hopefully he learns to grow the hell up. That's totally uncalled for.
That was Matt Garza yesterday, starter talking about the dust-up. Reds manager Dusty Baker weighed in on a conflict before Cincinnati's game today, saying, quote, you got to say something, you go over there and tell him. Johnny ain't running. Know what I mean? The guy can say what he wants to say, but it's better if you go over and say it to his face. Your thoughts?
No, I don't disagree with that, Dusty, in this situation either. Now, what's going on in this? We've got media, it's expanded, and Twitter and everything else that's out there. And we got comments after a ball game. It gets that feel where it's he said, it's back and forth. Back in the old days, sorry.
Oh, really? Train rides? Oh.
You handled your business, but you kept it in-house, and that's my point. You'd like to see a little bit more of that in this situation. You know, I understand where Matty's coming from right there. I don't know if he needs to be vocal after the game to express himself. He's entitled to it. I'm not telling him he's wrong. But he's probably going to have to handle some business now, and I'm not sure that's where you want it to go. If you've got business you want to handle, you got something you want to say, keep it between yourselves and go handle that business. But the media doesn't need to know about it.
All right, for a preview of tonight's game, let's go live to U.S. Cellular Field. We bring in our Luke Stuckmeyer. Luke, what is the latest goings-on with the dust-up and around this game tonight?
Oh, Cap, I mean, it's the Crosstown. There has to be some drama, right? But Przinski's gone, Barrett's gone, Zambrano's gone, Milton Bradley's not here anymore. So this time, the Cubs are bringing the drama with them from their last series. But David DeJesus would like it to all go away.
I'm not really worried about it. You know, it's great to have guys that back you, your own teammates. You want your teammates behind you, like animated like Garza. I think he's a great guy to have, but you know, I don't think this needs to get blown out of proportion.
If they fight, I bet on Garza because it's in my team. I heard that, you know, Dusty wanna bet with me, so I bet a couple hundred against Garza. So I heard that, you know, Dusty Baker in the same way, so that's what I can say.
So hopefully that's the end of the drama for the rest of the week. Well, meanwhile, both teams here looking for some offense in this series. Cubs say that starts with drawing some walks at the plate. They'll be facing a White Sox pitching staff that leads the American League in ERA. Grinding out at bats is what the Cubs are looking for. They want to see it at every level of their organization. It's crucial to getting this team on track.
If you look at the Reds and look at the Cubs, you know, the hits and the power aren't any different. And the difference is the walks, and they're second in the league in runs, I believe, and we're near the bottom, and that's simply a lack of getting on base. So it's something we have to solve collectively. And you know, as an organization, you know, it certainly, you know, Theo and I believe, you know, strongly that you can't be a good team if you don't get on base and grind out at bats. And you know, if we're not going to do that, we're going to have to we'll have to spend a lot of time figuring it out, because we're not going to be successful until we do.
Travis Wood will pitch later in this series. I'll have a story on him coming up later, Cap. Plus, we'll go one-on-one with Darwin Barney, who's trying to not only be a Gold Glove second baseman again this season, but really get it going at the plate. It's been a struggle for a little bit so far this season, but he was out here working again early tonight. Cubs trying to get the offense going, and maybe that win yesterday will turn things around for him. Live at U.S. Cellular Field, Luke Stuckmeyer will send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Luke. All right, guys, you hear Jed Hoyer preach on-base percentage. And for the Cubs, that has been a major struggle, especially away from home. When you played, OBP wasn't talked about back then like it is talked about today. Why?
Well, the only thing they concerned himself with is if a guy could run. That's the guy you didn't want to walk. The rest of the guys didn't make any difference. It was hit the home run or the extra base hit. The walks really didn't come into play. And I think a lot of it had to do with arbitration. This is just a wild guess by me. We never had free agency. You couldn't go in and arbitrate anything. But I think, you know, as a player, if you start using numbers in arbitration, I think you're more conscious of it.
Well, it turns into runs. I think you heard it from Jed. It's the absolute truth. I mean, you compare the two teams. You look at the Cincinnati Reds right now, and you look at the Chicago Cubs, and you say the slugging's not that much different. It's just about as many home runs, doubles, triples, however you look at it, but yet there's a huge gap when you talk about the runs scored category. And clearly we've watched the Cubs struggle mightily early in ball games. This is one thing that I continue to keep my eye on, Cap, is why do the at-bats seemingly towards the end of the game get better, yet at the beginning there's a lot of swinging. We watch starters get through 7 innings. They're at 82, 84 pitches. There is so much to be gained, not just in on-base percentage, but in getting those walks or working the at-bat. It's like getting into the bullpen, 100 pitches through 5 innings, and just so many things that can ultimately be gained through all of that. The Cubs, they're one of the worst at it.
Yeah, just to add to that, there's a fine line between taking aggression away from a hitter or letting him be aggressive. The hardest thing to do is take it away. You want your young players to be aggressive, then they have to find out themselves where that strike. They have to teach that strike zone to himself, but you certainly don't want to take the bat away and tell a guy to make sure he takes 1 or 2 pitches, unless it's late in the game. That's a different story. So I think there's such a fine line between that you know, Frank Thomas used to walk in college and nobody wanted to draft him because they didn't think he could swing the bat because he used to take walks in college. That's pretty rare. So again, maybe when you evaluate a young player in college, maybe sometimes you have to look at that.
All right, for more on the Southsiders' perspective, let's go back to the ballpark. Send it to our Chuck Garfien, who's hanging out with Robin Ventura.
All right, thanks, Cap. All right, I don't know if this is possible, but could you come up with one word to describe the first 48 games of this season for you guys?
One word, you know, it's average. I mean, again, it's just one of those that the beginning wasn't what you want it to be. The last, you know, 2 weeks have been better. So, you know, you made a nice little comeback since then. But, you know, I think the way we started, it's been a long road to be able to, you know, gain your footing.
Okay, 81% of your games have been decided by 3 runs or less. Are you feeling that as a manager? I mean, every single game is close. You can't really...
What's our percentage last year? Yeah, it must have. I mean, I think it was like that last year. I don't even know. But we play a lot of 1 run, 2, you know, if they feel more like 1-run games. So we're used to it. It's just one of those. That's the way we play. Our pitchers are used to it. You know, they're not coming into a situation that is unusual. It seems like it's like that most often.
In the long run, can that make you a better team because you're in those close games?
Well, you learn how to play like that. Again, I think that's, you know, again, one of those things that, you know, you'd love to win by 7 or 8, but, you know, you just take the win as you get it and you go from there. But again, your pitchers have to be able to give you the ability to get in and give you that chance.
You don't see too much of the Cubs, but clearly they're in the same city. When you see them over in that dugout, when you see what they have over there and their struggles that they've been having, but it's off and on, what do you see?
I think, you know, he's probably got a little of what we got of just inconsistency at certain things. But, you know, you look at what their pitchers are doing and, you know, the talent that they got. I think, you know, they can play better defense and do those things, especially, you know, like us. But, you know, it's a different league. So, you know, when whatever they're doing, it's different than who we're playing. So, you know, you want them to do a little better.
It's Frank Thomas's birthday today. Do you wish him a happy birthday yet?
Of course. Was he 58?
45, actually.
45. Oh, that's right. That's right. He's younger than I am.
You did wish him a happy birthday?
Right now I did.
Right now
I did.
He's in Japan, so maybe he'll see it in Japan.
Konnichiwa. You know,
what does that mean?
I don't know. I know Fukudome used to say that last year, so I guess it must mean happy birthday.
Something good.
Yeah, something good.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Cap, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Chuck. Both clubs have struggled offensively.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it from a Cub perspective so far this season that they can't hit with men in scoring position.
Sure.
What's the biggest reason?
Well, I think they just feel the pressure. I believe it's more mental than anything. I mean, these are very talented guys. I mean, we've seen them individually have moments already this season. Anthony Rizzo, he's been hot and cold. Starlin Castro, hot and cold, streaky. I had a conversation with David DeJesus last week, and he kind of broke it down for me pretty well. He says we just get into ball games and we feel the pressure to kind of get it done early, and it's until somebody breaks the ice, we have it, and we just kind of play with it. And you see the Cubs, it's kind of what they show you. At home, they get out, they score a few runs early, they seem to be fine all game long, or late in the ball game. Great at-bats. I mean, we talked about the Aroldis Chapman, the at-bats they were able to put together against them a couple weekends ago. I mean, are you kidding me? They were fantastic. Yet, you've got 4 and 5 starters on a daily basis that they go up against, and we see 82 pitches through 6 innings, 1 run, you know, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. And it just doesn't make an awful lot of sense. These guys, for some reason, put an awful lot of pressure on themselves to make the offense happen early in ball games until they relax, until they realize and let the game come to them, and not put more pressure on themselves in those RBI situations. They will continue to struggle. Hopefully it becomes a group effort where these guys collectively start to feed off each other. You get 1 or 2 guys hot and it gets a little better.
Melty, why have the White Sox struggled offensively? There's some good hitters in the lineup that haven't produced.
Well, there's a lot of dangerous hitters. There's not that many good hitters. You got a lot of guys that strike out. I think anytime you have a ball club that has power 1 through 9, And that's what I think the White Sox have. They have a lot of guys, even Alexi Ramirez hitting number 2, that could hit 20 home runs if, you know, he's done it before. But right now it's you know, when you got a home run hitting ball club, you're going to strike out a lot. So you're not going to get a lot of walks, number one. We got a lot of guys that swing freely, very freely at any pitch at any time. And it kind of permeates all the way through the lineup. I think Gillespie, the young third baseman we got, probably has the shortest swing and doesn't strike out a lot. Gillespie, you know, has done a good job for the White Sox, but Keppinger's another guy that didn't strike out a lot, came here, and he's striking out a little bit more than he should, and I think that's the reason why we went and got him. So I got to wait till these guys fall into place. 48 games is a good sample, but overall, we got a lot of aggressive hitters, a lot of guys that strikeouts. We're generally, you know, right up the top in strikeouts in the American League, but we also used to be right at the top in home runs.
All right, plenty more to come on Papa John's Cubs pregame live at Crosstown Cup. We'll look at tonight's pitching matchup next. Last time Jeff Samardzija faced the Sox, he did this to Paul Konerko. What's in store for the rematch tonight? We will break all of it down. And we want you to get interactive with us and answer tonight's Twitter question. What's your favorite part of the Crosstown Cup and why? Use the hashtag CSNTalk. We'll have some of your answers later in our hour-long show.
When the Northsiders score 3, get one free. After the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get the second one free online at papajohns.com with promo code Northside.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get one free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code Northside. Order now at papajohns.com.
For a limited time at Luna, buy one room, get your second room free. Plus, get up to $500 off. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
Unbelievable. This is awesome. Come on, really? I knew he was going to shank it.
I didn't shank it!
Seriously, what are we supposed to do with this? What if I just, No. Oh.
Come on, man.
No, don't do that. Sorry. He is really in there. That's slime dripping off? It is. Yep. That's nice.
Wouldn't it be great if every situation had helpful notes? That's why at Great Clips, we have clip notes. Notes that say exactly what you like. So don't just get a cut, get your hair cut. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Here's what it all comes down to. 18th hole.
The broadcast can't wait. The fans can't wait. The data of sports demands a new breed of speed. Comcast Business. Ethernet speeds up to 10 gigabits per second. Scales quickly as demand grows on a secure, reliable network.
There it is.
Because business can't wait to be at the top of its game. Don't wait. Call 800-501-6000 today and switch to Comcast Business.
Before you know it, tomorrow is here. So we don't just build cars for today, we also build them for tomorrow. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport Limited Edition, an IIHS top safety pick with advanced all-wheel control and a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty.
Max Matson springs into action with 0% financing for 66 months on new Outlander Sports for cash rebates and discounts of more than $4,000. Max Matson Mitsubishi, Downers Grove, Naperville, Aurora, and maxmatson.com.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
History. It is a collision at the plate, and Pierzynski not only bangs into Barrett, bangs onto the plate, and here they go. Wilson getting into it with Barrett, and now both dugouts empty. I mean, there is some hooking going on in the bottom of 2 piles.
See the next chapter on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, it's already been 7 years since the A.J. Pierzynski-Michael Barrett fight on the South Side. What will happen this week? We're taking you up the first pitch, 6 o'clock in the series opener between the Cubs and Sox. Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live. We get you ready for the Crosstown Cup. David Kaplan, Todd Hollingsworth, Belton, Bill Melton. Tonight's pitching matchup is Jeff Samardzija and Jose Quintana. Cubs set to face 3 straight lefties for the first time since June of '08 with Chris Sale, John Danks slated to start the next 2 nights. Samardzija allowed just 1 run in 7 innings his last time out against Pittsburgh, but he took a hard luck loss. He had a memorable outing against the Sox last season. He hit Paul Konerko in the face. Now, it wasn't intentional. He apologized to me. He said, I never tried to do it. Is there any carryover to that, Holly?
No, not at all. I mean, if you know Jeff Samardzija, most people here in Chicago on the north side, even on the south side, know what Jeff's all about. This guy's a competitor. He wants the ball. He wants to compete. That had in any way had any kind of intent. We talked about this last year. And you move past it. Yeah, maybe it's a bad memory, but Jeff's all about competing. Jeff's all about winning, and you're going to see that tonight.
How about from your perspective? Do you think there's any carryover?
You can talk to Paul about it. No, it's just part of the game. He nobody likes to get hit in the eye, but he didn't say a thing about it, and he never will. It's just part of the game.
All right, and here's Quintana, who threw 6 1/3 innings of scoreless ball last time out, beating the Red Sox. This guy came over with no level of expectation a year ago and has been excellent.
He really has. He reminds me a lot of, we can go way back to Wilson Alvarez. Same type of delivery, same type of stuff. I think Wilson probably had a little better curveball, but he works inside, he works outside. What he's got to do is use his cutter once in a while, but he's got to get these right-handed hitters out on some kind of off-speed pitch on the outside corner. That's when he's effective. When he just has the fastball and the cutter, they tend to hit him pretty hard.
All right, you look at the career interleague starts for Samardzija. Doesn't bode very well for tonight. 0-3 with a 7.71. Look at Jose Quintana. 1-0 with a ridiculous 0.42 ERA with 21 1/3 and 0 walks to 14 strikeouts. Those are eye-popping numbers.
They certainly are. Jeff Samardzija, I'm not falling for those numbers either. Jeff Samardzija is a different pitcher, certainly a different pitcher this season and even last season, growing into what he's become, and right now it's the ace of this staff. I think you're going to see him. Good command tonight. I talk about the length all the time. It applies to Jeff Samardzija because of some of the issues they had in the bullpen. If you can get 7 strong, and I almost expect it to happen, Jeff's going to be on his game tonight. Going to keep an eye on his secondary pitches, his splitty, his cutter. Is he able to get the swing and misses that he needs with those?
All right, Cubs starting staff has been a bright spot in a rough first 2 months this season, with 26-year-old Travis Wood becoming a huge part of the starting rotation. Luke Stuckmeyer has more on the lefty, who's done a little bit of everything for the Northsiders.
He's just a bullpen killer. Travis Wood, deep to left, a 2-run homer.
Travis Wood has been a hit with the fans and coaches in just his 2nd season on the north side.
Travis has always been a good athlete. You know, he'll say that he was the 2nd best athlete to ever come out of the state of Arkansas. You know, and I always give him a hard time. I don't know where that is.
A year ago, Wood became one of the first acquisitions in the new Cubs regime, and he was the centerpiece of the trade that sent Sean Marshall to the Reds. Wood struggled in spring training and ultimately started the campaign at AAA Iowa. After being recalled in May, Wood went on to make 26 starts and finish his first season with the Cubs 6-13.
You know, I wanted to come in here and show them, you know, they made a good trade and stuff, so I probably put a lot of extra pressure on myself. Unfortunately, wasn't able to have a good spring at all. And so they sent me down and told me what I needed to work on, and I felt like, you know, I didn't take anything bad, negative from it. I went down there and was like, I didn't deserve to be on the team at that point. I didn't have a good spring, and went down there and worked on what I needed to, and was able to get back up and help the club out.
Now Wood has had a breakout season this year. He's been arguably the Cubs' best pitcher and currently leads the majors in quality starts. The last Cubs pitcher to begin the season with 9 straight quality starts was Mordecai Three-Finger Brown, who accomplished the feat way back in 1908.
I've been fortunate enough to, you know, have good games and keep the teams in it and win some ball games, and you know, things are rolling pretty good right now for myself and the team. You know, we're playing pretty solid baseball right now.
He's worked extremely hard. I bought into some suggestions that we've made to him, but, you know, this guy likes to compete. He's a guy that the team likes playing after, you know, behind. And, you know, very happy-go-lucky guy, but, you know, he's turned the corner, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. As good as Travis has been, you know, he still wants to be better, which we all appreciate.
Covering the Cubs, Luke Stuckmeyer, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thank you, Luke, for the knowledge. Cubs and Sox starting staffs putting up almost identical numbers through the first couple of months. As you see, their ERA, quality starts, and opponent's batting average all just about even. Has Travis Wood surprised you the most so far for the Cubs?
No, I think so. You talk about expectations, where you draw the bar, where you draw the line, and what you thought Travis was going to be. I think most of us would have agreed that he was probably a candidate to kind of come out of that rotation maybe when Matt Garza came back. That's going all the way back to spring training. It's a no-brainer when Matt Garza came back. Travis Wood's in this rotation, and he's in this rotation to stay. Fastball, cutter, slider, all good.
All right, we are approaching the halfway mark of Pregame Live. We'll talk to Cubs broadcast team, Len Casper, Jim DeShays, when we continue. Plus, Luke catches up. Gold Glover, Darwin Barney. And we'll look at tonight's lineups. We're counting down to first pitch between the Cubs and Sox on Comcast Sportsnet.
It's the Memorial Day Summer Kickoff event at The Great Escape. Save $1,000 on a 21-foot pool, now just $19.99, including free installation and our clean water guarantee with a free Nature 2 auto sanitizer. Save up to 50% on patio collections. Buy any 5 or 7-piece dining collection and get a free 9-foot umbrella. And save up to $3,000 on Sundance hot tubs, plus get an additional $500 instant cash back.
Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape.
All baseball season, your Chicago Cubs live on one network. Comcast Sportsnet. Exclusive interviews with the team's biggest stars. In-depth Cubs coverage from pregame to postgame. And the announcers that bring each game to life. All baseball season, your Chicago Cubs live on one network. Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
This is my business. I'm the owner and sole proprietor.
I only have one other employee, Chester.
It's a romantic notion. Be the boss, but you are alone.
Well, not technically alone.
I do have a lot of help, actually.
My UPS store.
I had this printed there. Packing, shipping, help.
Outstanding.
Posters.
I have a mailbox there.
Best thing, they're right down the street. The owner's a friend.
I got the account.
My team.
Yes! Careful now.
Dish Network can claim what they want, but America consistently chooses DirecTV. For the best television experience, DirecTV beats Dish hands down. But don't just take our word for it. Over the last 3 years, for every customer Dish lost, DirecTV gained 24. In fact, more people chose DirecTV last year than all cable and satellite companies combined. Sorry, Dish. 30 million customers can't be wrong. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
We are taking you up to the top of the hour on Pregame Live, and we are just over 40 minutes away from first pitch between the Cubs and the White Sox. Here's a great holiday dinner idea. Order your pizza right now at papajohns.com. And welcome back to Papa John's Cubs Pregame Live. David Kaplan, Bill Melton, Todd Hollinsworth with you. We go out to the ballpark, the voices of the Chicago Cubs, Len and JD. And gentlemen, interesting pitching matchup from a Cub perspective. What do you guys expect out of Jeff Samardzija? He does not have great interleague numbers.
Well, Jeff's been really good this year. If you look at his ERA, he should probably be 6-2 instead of 2-6. But as I look at this matchup here, very similar teams in terms of getting good starting pitching and not a lot of runs from the offense.
And the White Sox had their problems early in the year defensively. They've been able to tighten it up in recent games. Same thing can be said for the Cubs. So when you look at the numbers, you would expect a low-run game tonight. This Quintana kid's throwing the ball quite well for the White Sox. Flirted with a no-no last time out, and Samardzija, despite the 2-6 record, has really pitched pretty darn good baseball. I mean, just about every time he's gone out there, he's been really good.
I'll tell you what, Cap, the one disadvantage for the Cubs in these first two games is the starting pitcher doesn't get to hit, and the Cubs don't really have a typical DH type. It'll be Scott Hairston tonight.
And an interesting lineup with Bourbon at the top. The Cubs do, surprisingly, have some speed in their lineup. They've done a better job at stolen bases, Len. We haven't seen that in the last few years.
Yeah, and I think they've picked their spots very well. The Cubs, I think, the advanced scouting department is excellent, and they know which pitchers and catchers they can run against. And Tyler Flowers back in the lineup tonight. I don't know about Quintana's move, but if it's not a good one, the Cubs will take advantage.
Well, you know, the downside is he's left-handed. Typically, they're a little tougher to run against, but you may see the Cubs force the action a little bit, try to steal some bases, play hit and run, generate some offense, because they just haven't been good against left-handed pitching this year. And I think that's why Bourbone's at the top of the order. I think Dale wants to see him, you know, get on base, use his legs, maybe push a bunt, try to get on that way. They just got to find a way to generate offense against left-handers.
Guys, any momentum from yesterday's ball game, the nice comeback victory in Cincinnati, can it play into tonight?
Tell you, Holly, I just think it's all about the starting pitcher, and if Samardzija is as good as he was his last time out, I think the Cubs will be all right.
Yeah, I always have a hard time making that leap, you know, that springboard kind of win. Clearly, that was a nice win. You know, they've only won 2 games all year when trailing, entering the 8th inning, so that was a big win. They come to the ballpark maybe with a little bounce in their step today, but if your starting pitcher goes out there and gives up a 3 spot in the first, that all goes away. So maybe the fact that they were able to win late, combined with the fact that Samardzija is on the mound today, puts them in a pretty good point of view.
All right, guys, have a great broadcast. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
All right, the Crosstown Cup. Let's look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the Cubs. 3 guys who were DFA'd by other clubs early in the season. Bourbon at the top of the lineup with great speed. Castro, Rizzo, Soriano, Hairston, Castillo. Then you get back-to-back guys who were picked up off of the scrap heap pretty much. Ransom, Sweeney, and then Darwin Barney. Alfonso Soriano, though, a big home run yesterday.
Yeah, well, you look at the lineup tonight and kind of the track record. Cubs are 4-10 against lefty starters. It doesn't bode well for this series, but I will say this. I'm kind of looking for some heroic moments, maybe from an Alfonso Soriano or an Anthony Rizzo. Big games, multiple RBIs. See if those moments can pop up. I kind of expect this series to be a low-scoring affair all the way through. We've talked a little bit about how the White Sox have had their own struggles offensively with great pitching. If that is going to be the case, somebody can be a difference maker. One guy, one individual, and I'm kind of hoping that it's somebody in the Cubs lineup.
All right, for the White Sox lineup, for Robin Ventura, Tyler Flowers back after missing the last 3 games with back spasms. There's Diaza, Ramirez, Rios, Dunn, Konerko, Viciedo, Gillespie, Keppinger, and Flowers. There is power, Bill, throughout that lineup.
Well, there's power there, but the only consistency really has been Alex Rios. He had a 16-game hitting streak and a 13-game, which included about 8 games from last year. So when you talk about consistency, that's what you want. You see with Alex Rios. Paul Konerko starting to swing the bat a lot better. It doesn't go by the average, but he's hit the ball a lot harder. He did have a home run 2 or 3 days ago. He's starting to pull the ball, but, you know, Paul goes through these little bit of a funk, just like power hitters. Adam Dunn hit about 7 in a row, or 7 games in a row. He had home runs starting in Minnesota on that last road trip, and, you know, they come in bunches. They kept coming in Anaheim, and now he's slowed down. He had one the other day, so I always go with home run hitters. When they start hitting them, they generally come in bunches. So I'm looking for Adam Dunn to probably hit some home runs this series.
All right, Darwin Barney hitting in the 9-hole tonight as the Cubs pitchers get a break from batting in American League play. Scott Hairston will be the DH. Luke Stuckmeyer caught up with the Gold Glove winner a short time ago over at U.S. Cellular.
All right, the Cubs are still on the road, but at least you get to sleep in your own bed. Darwin, is that the best part of the Crosstown Classic for the players? At least on the road?
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of interesting to play on the road and be at your own place, but you know, it's exciting, it's fun, and we're excited to have some of our fans here, and you know, everybody kind of gets up for this series, so it'll be fun. Both teams aren't where they want to be right now at this point in the season, but when you come to the park, can you still feel some sort of energy in the park? Yeah, most definitely. You know, there's always a lot to play for. You know, whether it's individual or team. I think at this point in the season, there's a lot of team things to play for. Everyone's still in it. You know, you go on a run, you win 10 in a row, now you're right in the middle of your division. So, you know, baseball's a funny game. There's going to be a couple teams that make that run at some point this year, and the White Sox and us are both trying to be those teams. For you personally, how difficult is the balance between, you do a lot of work before the games in hitting, how difficult is the balance going out and doing the infield stuff when you're in a game and not having something carry over to plate, or vice versa? You know, baseball's one of those games where you got to separate the two. You know, like in basketball, defense can lead to a fast break. Baseball's not necessarily that way. When you're struggling offensively, sometimes you don't feel as good about yourself when you're making good plays defensively, which is kind of tough about this game. But You know, for me, I try to keep it very separate. You know, contribute as much as I can offensively and don't let it hurt me defensively, which is where I really feel like I can bring the most to this team.
You mentioned basketball. I was thinking about sportsmanship between, you know, it's the fan bases that don't get along real well. I don't think the players have a whole lot of animosity. But where do you view sportsmanship in baseball? Should guys be talking to players on the base path? We saw LeBron taking a lot of grief for a fist bump in a playoff game with another player on another team. How does that work in baseball?
You know, I think it's definitely okay to talk to people on the field. I mean, it's part of the game. You know, it's a 162-game season, and you can't hate everybody.
So even in a big game in baseball, it's okay not to despise the guy that you're going up against?
Yeah, especially, you know, I mean, it's you're going up against a uniform, you're going up against a city, you know, and that's kind of how this game goes. So a lot of guys change teams every year. You know, you can't despise a guy. You're playing that team and the guys that are on that team.
All right, Darwin, thanks for your time. It's Chicago versus Chicago tonight on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, Luke, thank you. Cubs bullpen news today. Kyuji Fujikawa placed on the disabled list for the second time this season, again with a strained right forearm suffered yesterday in Cincinnati. He will get an MRI on the injury tomorrow. Cubs claimed Alex Burnett off waivers from the Orioles. He will wear number 50 for the Cubs. But unlike the Cubs and Sox starting staff, bullpens have been a problem for these teams. Bill, let's start with you. White Sox bullpen was thought to be pretty good coming in. Hasn't been great.
Well, we've had a couple of consistent guys, and that's Addison Reed and Jesse Crane have done a whale of a job. But then other than that, it's been kind of a hit and miss. A little surprising, guys like Nate Jones and stuff, the younger guys are walking too many hitters. There's too many guys on base, and when you're playing bad defense and you're giving up runs late in the innings, you saw how many games the White Sox have only scored 3 runs in the majority of their games. So you're going to see a lot of the bullpen. But other than the 3 guys I was talking about there, Matt Thornton's done a pretty good job from the left side. We're light with a left-handed reliever. We need to find a left-handed reliever.
The Cub bullpen, you look at those numbers, by name you go, oh, the White Sox bullpen's far better. Look at the numbers, they're almost identical. Hard to believe.
No, it's pretty amazing. You can go back to yesterday's ballgame, Cap. 6 innings from the bullpen yesterday, 1 hit, shut down the Reds. I mean, they've had their moments this year. They've also had their moments in a bad way, and I think that's the kind of the rap they've caught this year is that when you look at a team that's struggled, a team that's losing, you start to say, why? And there was issues earlier in this year with Carlos Marmol as the closer. Greg's now filled in. James Russell's off to a fantastic start this season. They have guys that have been doing a good job, but what I'm starting to see is that using more is better. Don't overexpose these guys too much. Don't ask for an inning and 2/3 from individuals. If you can keep it, maybe use more daily as opposed to 1 or 2 guys, I think you're getting better results, and Dale's doing a great job with them right now.
All right, up next, Chuck Garfien, our Chuck. We'll talk with Chris Sale. Will the Sox lefty be ready to go tomorrow night in Game 2 of the series after missing his last start? Plus, you won't want to miss how a huge Cub fan honors his favorite team. That and more when Pregame Live continues.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get 1 free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code NORTHSIDE. Order now at papajohns.com.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Before you know it, tomorrow is here. So we don't just build cars for today, we also build them for tomorrow. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport Limited Edition, an IIHS top safety pick, with advanced all-wheel control and a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty.
Max Matson springs into action with 0% financing for 66 months on new Outlander Sports or cash rebates and discounts of more than $4,000. Max Matson Mitsubishi, Downers Grove, Naperville, Aurora, and maxmatson.com.
Denny's red, white, and blue plate specials are as American as apple pie. Especially the apple pie French toast. Try it with our new mild or bold coffee roasts. Only at Denny's.
My voice and internet bill from the phone company
was big. We were paying too much
for slow DSL.
Old technology.
Big problem.
So we switched to Comcast.
Comcast Business.
Fast internet.
Better phones.
Brought our costs down to size.
We switched.
and put the big bills behind us.
Start saving. Sign up for Comcast Business Internet and add phone and TV for just $34.90 more a month. Switch to Comcast Business. Call 800-501-6000 today.
Right now, save big on beautiful kitchen and bath remodels from Galaxy. Just $49 installed. Call or visit GalaxyHome.com today.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
Legendary names, personal stories from the boys in the hall,
a father and a son,
and today's stars who dream to join them.
On my calendar every time I'm in town to make sure they come.
See them on boysinthehall.com. Celebrated by Subway, where winners eat.
Comcast Sportsnet presents Great Moments in Crosstown History.
There's a lot more than bragging rights this time around.
Jermaine Nye has just tied it by reaching Waveland. They have left the yard twice.
D. Lee goes to the opposite field with authority.
We are tied! Ball game over! Ramirez into center, fourth grade!
See the next chapter on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, great memories. Time now for the Comcast Business Edge as we look at Paul Konerko's career numbers against the Chicago Cubs. 69 career games. Paulie, 20 bombs, 53 knocked in with an OBP of 352. He's played in 69 of the 90 crosstown games since interleague play began. Comcast Business Edge is sports at the speed of business. All right, White Sox lefty Chris Sale scratched from last week's start versus Boston with posterior shoulder soreness, but he is scheduled to start tomorrow night's game against the Cubs. Our Chuck Garfien caught up with Chris before tonight's game and got the lowdown.
All right, Cap, thank you very much. Chris Sale here. Word is, according to you and everybody, you're going to start on Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow.
Yeah. How does that feel? You're going to get back out there and play.
It's nice. Missing a start's never fun. You don't want to do that. Your job is to come here and play your role as a team player and do your thing. So, getting back out there tomorrow is definitely a big day for me.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate being taken off of the rotation and not being able to play?
Say about a 64. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said. I mean, you come here every day to do your job, and when you can't do your job and you have to have someone else do your job for you, I know we have great teammates and stuff. I do have great teammates. We have a great clubhouse, and I know they didn't mind that. But for me, it's just, it's a personal thing. I take a lot of pride in what I do, and being able to go out there and pitch my game and do what I have to do for this team each and every time out. And when I can't do that, just get bummed out.
So you've had this time off the mound in a game. How do you feel right now? How does your body feel with this added rest?
I feel great, actually. I took a few days off of throwing, and I was still working out my lower half and my core. But I would say overall I feel great. Just ready to get back out there and start pitching again.
So what surprised me is that you've never started against the Cubs. You didn't get to face them last year.
I've never pitched at Wrigley either.
How did this all happen? How did you miss? You missed both series last year.
I did. I don't know. I just didn't fall on my day, unfortunately.
So how much are you looking forward to actually playing them?
I can't wait. Just knowing the rivalry and the history between the two teams. We're two teams in the same city, so we got to have bragging rights, and it's fun because I'm pitching against Edwin tomorrow, and he's one of my good friends when he was over here, and still to this day. So We've had some pretty good trash talk sessions and messing with each other, and like a sibling rivalry. You take pride in what you do, but when your friends are out there, you want to beat them even more. It's just fun. Everything that goes into it. It's fun for us as players, but it's fun for the fans and everybody that comes in. And I think the fans look more into it than we do, because for us it's just another game. We're going out there to win. We want to win this game just as much as we wanted to win yesterday and 4 days from now. So, the excitement's there, and then it'll be fun.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Back to you, Cap.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Now leave their dugout. They want to get their game going. All right, let's talk about Chris Sale. This guy is filthy. And when he was drafted, there were many teams. I talked to a scout the other day who said, took him off our draft board, didn't like the motion, and he said, obviously, we were wrong.
Well, I didn't like the motion, but, I mean, this guy's he's got that slinging way he throws out here, and left-handers really have no hope.
He looks like Randy Johnson.
Yeah, literally looks like Crook in the batter's box when you're in there. But the thing about it with Chris, you know, I've seen him miss starts before. And when you think a young guy would come back like that and kind of be not efficient and a little bit wild, his best games are after he takes a skip in a rotation. So I think tomorrow, and especially pitching against the Cubs, and he talks about Edward Jackson, he's going to be pumped up. But I think tomorrow we're probably going to see the real Chris Sale.
What's your thoughts?
I'm still trying to figure out his arm slot, and I have for years. I mean, it's filthy when you think about how he gets the ball to home plate, his mechanics. He's a crossfire guy, and then you factor in velocity and you factor in that breaking ball. I think, how do left-handers even have a changeup? And the changeup. I mean, you throw it out there. I mean, I sit there and I look and I wonder how he's got a 2.53. I think it should be lower, honestly.
Right. The Crosstown Cup always brings out the passions of fans on both sides of our great town. The stands will be filled with fans wearing hats, jerseys, and more featuring their favorite teams and favorite players. But we found one Cub fan, David Egan of Chicago Heights, who proudly displays his loyalty to the Cubs wherever he goes.
My whole family is all Cubs fans. Grew up in a Cubs household. Everybody, my mom, dad, grandma. Grandma was a big diehard Cubs fan. We don't have no Sox fans. A couple married in, you know, but we don't claim them. I was talking about getting a tattoo on the back of my head. Went in and told the tattoo artist what I wanted to do. I came in with a shaved head, sat down, Cubs logo, put it on, and he went to town. The second one, me and my buddy Opie were at a game, and Tom Ricketts was walking around handing out baseballs to the kids. And my buddy Opie goes, "Hey, Mr. Ricketts, you want to meet the biggest Cubs fan in the world?" And he whips me around. And Tom Ricketts was like, "Wow, really?" And we shook hands, and I'm like, "I got to ask you for a favor." He goes, "What's that?" I said, "I want to get Ron Sando's autograph, and I want to put it above the Cubby Bear." He goes, "Really?" He goes, "All right, give me your name and address." About 3 to 4 weeks later, I got a thing in the mail with a photograph of Ron Santo. And it's to David, go Cubs, Ron Santo. And then, unfortunately, Ron had passed. And I said, and then it just hit me. I was like, I know what I'm going to do. Number 10 with the halo on top, and then the autograph right underneath it. Because it was my, my grandmother's favorite ball player, my father, my 2 uncles. Was there, always talk about Ron Santo, Ernie, Billy, it was their favorite. And my dad and my grandmother had passed, before I got the Ron Santo tattoo. It's kind of in memory of, some of my family. When it comes to Ron Santo, you can't compare, he was Wrigley Field in my eyes. You ask me what Wrigley Field's about, it's about a guy like Ron Santo. The passion, the love for the Cubs.
I thank all of you. I love you.
This is awesome. Me personally, that's like Field of Dream right there. I said that is by far the best thing in my life is going to Wrigley Field. I don't know what it is about that ballpark. Some people are like, oh, it's junk, it smells. I'm like, you know what? That's because you're not a Cubs fan. I said, when you walk into Wrigley Field, that's home. There's no better place on earth. Your dog could die that day and you could walk into Wrigley Field and you'll start smiling instantly.
This is heaven.
My friends are like, people are trying to sneak up behind me and take a picture, and because they're terrified, I guess. They're scared of me, I don't know what. And so my buddies, they'll be like, "Hey man, you got another admirer behind you." I turn around and they're like, I just want a picture. I'm like, "Can I have a picture? All you had to do is ask." It's fun to to have people ask, "Hey, can I get the picture?" I don't get to see it, obviously, but I know it's there, and it means a lot to me. Most Sox fans, they see the tattoos, and they're actually like, you know what? Me being a Sox fan, I got to say that's dedication. I don't think you're right in the head, but that's dedication.
All right, he is a diehard fan. All right, up next, we will reveal who won our Team Cap versus Team Chuck Twitter clash. Plus, the guys' keys to the game and how Sox fans tailgated on this Memorial Day. First pitch between the Cubs and Sox, just over 10 minutes away here on CSN.
The Crosstown Cup on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by The Great Escape. Escape to your backyard this summer. Save on name brand patio collections, jacuzzi hot tubs, Weber grills, gazebos, and a huge selection of family-sized pools. Only at The Great Escape. Chicago White Sox live on one network, Comcast Sportsnet. Exclusive interviews with the team's biggest stars. In-depth Sox coverage from pregame to postgame. And the announcers that bring each game to life.
You can put it on the board, yeah!
All baseball season, your Chicago White Sox live on one network, Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
My business just got this big announcement from the phone company.
Make some big claims.
Says my business can get high-speed internet.
I called, and all I could get was
slow DSL or T1.
I called Comcast Business.
Got 50 megabits per second of speed.
Better phone, great value.
As for this,
Start saving. Sign up for Comcast Business Internet and add phone and TV for just $34.90 more a month. Switch to Comcast Business. Call 800-501-6000 today.
Outdoor living spaces come to life when designed with Unilock products made with EnduraColor. For a free estimate and design consultation, join us online at unilock.com. Unilock, designed to connect.
Attention roofing contractors. Here's your chance to cash in on GAF Advanced Protection Timberline shingles. Rated #1 in quality by contractors and builders. From May 1st to June 15th, buy 2 pallets of GAF Timberline shingles at the Home Depot and earn a $200 prepaid MasterCard. There's no limit, so start saving today.
Only valid for purchases in Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, Ohio, or Wisconsin.
All right, earlier we asked you to weigh in on our Twitter question. What's your favorite part of the Crosstown Cup and why? Here's what you told us. Lindsay says, my favorite part, being able to show all my Cub fan friends who the best team in Chicago is. Michael, best part is how it divides households and friendships, if only for a few days. And how about Peyton? See, the city bond is one, but still have a true rivalry that will always separate the north side from the south side. Thank you for letting us know your thoughts. All right, Team Cap, Team Chuck have been going at it for a while now. Over 5,000 combined tweets with the hashtag Team Cap and Team Chuck. Chuck had over 1,000 more mentions than I did, and he has a few listeners. And here's the winner of the CSN prize pack, Priscilla, a White Sox fan through and through. Here's the photo she submitted of her White Sox pride. Congrats again to Priscilla. And thank you to everyone for taking part in the Team Cap, Team Chuck Twitter Challenge. All right, this year's Crosstown Cup opener comes on Memorial Day as we honor all those who served in the United States Armed Forces. While the weather didn't quite cooperate Memorial Day, always a good time to break out the grill and celebrate the start of the summer months. Let's check out how Chicago baseball fans tailgated ahead of tonight's game at U.S. Cellular Field.
Because the heat is on.
The Sox will definitely win, though. I don't know about that.
He's the flag guy. You always see him behind. I'm the flag guy. Oh! This baby was 2 rows behind the dugout in 05 in Houston.
Go Cubs!
We believe in color. We're all friends. Let's all get along. It's about the red, white, and blue. That's what it's about.
It is very serious. We're all about the Crosstown Cup.
Get him down!
Ain't no way.
Go Cubs!
The king. I'm a daddy's girl, so my dad's a Sox fan, so thus I'm a Sox fan. Unfortunately, my whole family's Cubs.
Good stuff, huh?
It works when we're not playing each other.
It works when it's not baseball season. Bears, Bulls, Hawks, we all agree.
Yeah.
Not for baseball, though.
Not today.
Go, go! Doormat of the National League.
All right, there you go. People having a good time in the best city in the world. Let's get Todd and Bill's key to the game. Bill, your one key.
Well, right now, you know, the White Sox have 20 games in a row, and so we're going to do Addison by subtraction. I don't want to see Addison Reed. He's already saved 17 games. We've only won 24, so I think with 20 games in a row, I hope the White Sox score enough offensively so we can stay away from Addison Reed.
How about for you, Holly?
Well, I'm kind of playing off what Bill said, not Addison Reed, but how they've been scoring offensively, and they've started to win. The White Sox, well, for me, it's slug it out. I'm not talking about throwing blows like right there, Michael Barrett. letting AJ have one right there. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm talking about is Adam Dunn, the long ball, doubles and triples, the way the White Sox have been winning. It hasn't been the White Sox pouring it on 7-8 runs a ball game, but the damage they've done, like yesterday's ball game, 8 hits, 5 extra base hits, 4 doubles and a homer. Jeff Samar just got to keep them in check. He's got to control that aspect of their game, and I think that will be successful for the Cubs if he can do that.
All right, we have a little thing we do here on Cubs pregame. We do our key performers. You could pick a Cubs player or a Sox player. Who's the key performer?
Well, I think I'm going to have to go with a Sox player. They're quite a surprise, isn't it? But I'm going to go with Diane Viciedo. He swings. He's been swinging the bat really well since he came back from that oblique problem, and you never know about this guy, man. He could go 4 for 4. He can go 0 for 10. But I'll take Diane Viciedo.
Starlin Castro, I think he's going to have a big game tonight. Hopefully he gets that strike zone back in, but he's had a few good passes here the last couple days. I think he's ready to explode.
Yeah, he has struggled as of late. I am going to go with Cubs second baseman Darwin Barney, and the crew is weighing in. They are taking Paul Konerko. So they are going with a White Sox player. All right, thank you for watching Papa John's Cubs pregame live at Crosstown Cup. Len Casper, JD, Jim DeShays are up next. Call in the Cubs and the White Sox game 1 of 4. We will see you after for post-game live. Enjoy the game, everybody, right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Edison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Edison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
Honda Civic keeps getting better. Now with more standard features than ever before. It's the best Civic yet. Only at your Honda dealer.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that U-verse wireless receiver.
You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watch TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted one day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get U-verse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
Some people might think we're set in our ways, that we're old-fashioned. We couldn't agree more. For 140 years, Coors Banquet has only been brewed in Golden, Colorado, with pure Rocky Mountain water and the best high country barley. With us, old-fashioned has never gone out of style. Coors, the banquet beer.
With up to $1,000 holiday bonus cash, choosing an innovative new Nissan is easier than ever. In fact, during our first sign and drive event, all you need to lease is one of these. Get up to $1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers.
I need a pen. Boom. Whoa. Yep. Thanks.
Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Comcast Sportsnet presents great moments in Crosstown history.
It is 6-0 Cubs. Miller scores and it's 8-0. It's just a bad game. And we are right back in this ballgame. Paul Konerko, we are tied! Ball game over! Giovanni Soto's mask, and the Cubs are screaming.
See the next chapter on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, they say blood is thicker than water, but does it trump baseball loyalties? We'll find out over the next 4 days as the Crosstown Cup continues. The Cubs and White Sox will match up for the 91st time, dating back to 1997. Great to have you on the south side of town. Jim DeShays, Len Casper. A couple of teams generally going in opposite directions, although the Cubs yesterday with a nice win to snap a 6-game losing streak.
A much-needed win for the Cubs yesterday and a fairly atypical win for the Cubs. They've lost a lot of leads this year. They have not come from behind very often, but a lot of two-out magic in that game yesterday. It was a Castro hit, a Rizzo double in advance of that Soriano home run to tie the game, and then the winning walk, or run came home rather, after a walk to Harrison with 2 outs, and then Castillo delivers the big two-out doubles to drive in the winning run.
Kevin Gregg coming on to get the win, got the Cubs out of the 9th, and then the final 3 outs in the 10th. And for the White Sox, they got off to a bad start, but they're back in the race in the AL Central.
Back to 500 for the first time since being 4-4. They've tightened things up defensively. We take a look at some numbers. First 34 games, just 14-20, but lately 10-4. The batting average starting to come a little bit. Offensively, they've been better, and as I mentioned, they've been catching it a little bit better lately as well.
Pretty good matchup on the mound. Jeff Samardzija grew up in Northwest Indiana, going to White Sox games in this very ballpark. Left-hander Jose Quintana will go for the White Sox. We'll have Game 1 coming up next.
That's cool. 1800 just poured me a shot. What can your top do? Nothing. 1800 tequila. Change the game.
Denny's red, white, and blue plate specials are as American as apple pie. Especially the apple pie French toast. Try it with our new mild or bold coffee roasts. Only at Denny's.
Let's compare bundles with Dish Network and DirecTV. If you want the best in TV, phone, and internet, then Dish Network simply can't compete, because DirecTV partners with the nation's leading providers to deliver a superior bundle for one low price. Combining some of the fastest internet speeds with the world's #1 TV service, DirecTV's bundles leave Dish in the dust. Another reason 30 million people agree. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
It's our pride in the red, white, and blue. It's our commitment that always comes shining through. It's everything that you need. The hardest working people in America find value at Farm and Fleet.
There's Cubs manager Dale Swaim and the great strength coach Tim Buss as the Cubs get ready to invade U.S. Cellular Field tonight to battle crosstown rival the White Sox. Hi, I'm David Kaplan inside our downtown Chicago studios. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hope you had a good holiday. Every team today playing an interleague matchup featuring some matinees on this holiday Monday. Good matchup in Detroit this afternoon. Pirates and Tigers pick it up in the 5th, tied at 1-2 on for Victor Martinez. V-Mark hits a shot down the left field line, reaches the wall, 2 come in. Tigers a 3-2 lead. We go to the 7th. Pirates down 4-2. Run around for Neil Walker. He gets down the right field line. Travis Snyder, come on down. Pirates pull within 1. Bottom half, Tigers get 1 back. Johnny Peralta back up the middle. Miggy Cabrera will score. Tigers hang on, beat the Pirates 6-5. And speaking of Detroit, the Blackhawks in Motown tonight looking to force Game 7. Remember, as soon as the game is final, we've got the best Hawks coverage around. It's Blackhawks post-game live. Pat Boyle, Steve Conroy break down the game. Let's bring you reaction from both the Hawks and Wings at the Joe. That's tonight, only on Comcast Sportsnet after a Crosstown Cup coverage. All right, that's going to put a wrap on it from here. I will see you after the game with Todd Hollingsworth and Bill Melton. Will join me for Cubs post-game live at the Crosstown Cup. Up next, it's Game 1. White Sox and Cubs. Enjoy the game, everybody.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
No one knows why it happened. After 23 years of tossing his socks on the floor, Jason Donahue had a realization that the hamper in his room was mere inches from the spot where he usually tossed his socks. So rather than leaving them on the floor again, Jason traveled the extra distance and dropped them in the hamper, proving one thing to his wife, Brenda. Anything's possible. Like with a new 4th of July millionaire raffle, a $500,000 winner each week and $2 million winners on the 4th.
Tomorrow, the excitement and unpredictability of the Crosstown Cup continues as the Cubs and Sox throw down for one more game on the South Side. Pre-game live from the ballpark kicks off at 6:30. Cubs, White Sox, tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Season after season, one network captures the most exhilarating moments in Chicago sports. Comcast Sportsnet. We understand your passion, and we're as obsessed as you are. This is Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank, helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Well, unseasonably cool and very damp. Humid conditions, but not raining. So we will get started on time. The Cubs and the White Sox, since interleague play began, have matched up 90 times. I feel very large. And the Cubs and Sox joining all clubs today by honoring our military on Memorial Day, wearing special camouflage jerseys and caps licensed by the U.S. Marine Corps, raising awareness and funds for Welcome Back Veterans. Cubs are 41-49 all time against the White Sox, and just 19-26 in this ballpark. Cubs have dropped 8 of their last 11 against the Sox. So, partner, your first Crosstown Cup game.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. A lot of energy in the ballpark tonight. A lot of Cub fans, obviously, in the house. Should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
So, left-hander Jose Quintana, one of 3 left-handed starters the Cubs will face here this week, will face this Southwest Cubs starting lineup. Julio Borbon will get the leadoff assignment tonight in center. Castro, Rizzo, Soriano, you see his interleague numbers. Scott Hairston, whose dad played for the White Sox, is a DH. Castillo, the catcher. Ransom at third. Ryan Sweeney, former White Sox, is in right. And Darwin Barney's at second.
White Sox defensively set up this way this evening. Luciedo, De Aza, Rios left to right. Infield of Gillespie, Ramirez, Keppinger, and Canerco. Tyler Flowers behind the plate. For Jose Quintana, he's our Lexus Starting pitcher for the White Sox tonight. He's 3-1 with a 3.48 ERA. He's 24 years of age. And he's giving this rotation a nice boost. Fastball, cutter, curveball, and a change. Cut fastball, very important pitch for him. Speaking with Don Cooper during BP, the pitching coach for the Sox, he said if Quintana's got his breaking stuff early, he's awfully tough to beat.
Even the umpires getting into the act as well with those camouflage caps. Great to see. Scott Barry will work the plate. The crew chief Tim Welke's at first. Clint Fagan at second. And Mike Everett is over at third. So 2 games here, both night games, and then we head to the north side, Wrigley Field, to finish this 4-game set. 8 miles to the north, but the good news is if you're right now on the north side, you still can hear the music that they're pumping here at U.S. Cellular Field. It sounded like your car when you pulled into the parking lot today.
Yeah, only the stadium's not bouncing up and down like my car was.
So Quintana facing the Cubs for the first time in his career, and a fastball is in there for a strike at 92 on Julio Bourbon, getting his 5th start and his 3rd in center. Shows bunt, takes it outside. Quintana from Arjona, Colombia.
Originally signed with the Mets, played in their system for a year, was suspended and out of baseball for a year for violating baseball's drug policy, and then the Yankees signed him. Spent some time in their organization. They let him go. White Sox swooped in, picked him up. I shouldn't say they let him go, but he was a minor league free agent. Signed with the Sox, and he's been really good. I'm going to guess they would say better than expected.
Everybody bundled up tonight. 57 degrees as we get started. Big leg kick in the 2-2, called strike 3 on a heater at 94.
Julio voicing a little displeasure with Scott Barry after this strike 3 call. Thought it maybe was inside, maybe low. Looked pretty good from that angle. Didn't hit his spot, but it looked like he was on the plate and high enough.
Now Starlin Castro had 2 hits yesterday. He has hit in all 8 career games in this ballpark. 14 for 31 with 2 homers. Wide open stance, takes a strike.
94, that's better than advertised.
The pitch off the outside. Quintana works quickly.
Changeup.
That one missed wide as well. It's 2-1. Well, a new format for these rivalry series in interleague play. Used to be 3-3, separated by a few weeks. But now it's 4 in 4 days.
I kind of like it. I think it really plays well in markets like this where there are 2 teams, 2 here, 2 there. New York obviously has the same thing going on. The Bay Area, Southern California with the 2 teams in Los Angeles. I don't know if it creates the same kind of buzz in that Detroit-Pittsburgh series, but hang with them, Detroit and Pittsburgh.
Ball 4.
Quintana had walked just 15 coming into play tonight. And Castro doesn't walk very often, but showing a little discipline there. Takes the free pass. He had a couple of knocks yesterday, did Starlin, a double and a single.
Talking about command, last year Quintana went 100 consecutive batters between walks. 4th longest stretch in MLB last season. And ball one on Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo 4 for 26 on the road trip, but all 4 hits have come over the last 2 days, including 3 doubles. Pretty good lead by Castro, being held on by Konerko, but Quintana left-handed and looks like he gets rid of it pretty quickly. I don't know if the Cubs will be able to run much on him tonight.
Maybe more of a hit and run type situation. We might see them try against, and there's been 1 steal, 2 caught with Quintana on the mound. Flowers has thrown out a little over 18%, which is below average.
Cubs 1-5 on this 8-game trip. White Sox just swept Miami over the weekend. 3-1. A lot of similarities between these two teams. The biggest difference is the record. The White Sox are right at 500. The Cubs are 19-30. Excellent starting pitching. Offenses that have been inconsistent. A lot of close games. Rizzo pops it up. Foul territory. Konerko and Keppinger are over there near the barrier, and it is caught by a fan in the front row. Got a blue shirt on. I'm going to call him a Cub fan.
Yeah, well. And he held it up and he looked at Keppinger and said, "I got it."
Well, he's sitting with Cub fans. So now 3-2. Will Castro take off? Well, he was going to, but Quintana fired over there. Pretty good move.
It is a good move. It perhaps would have been more effective had he used the higher leg kick. They might have been able to hang Castro up.
Takes off now, swing and a miss. Nobody covering, however, and Castro's in. So the White Sox middle infielders held their ground. That normally is the shortstop's cover there, but Ramirez got a late break, and the inning allowed to continue. I think they would have had him.
Yeah, and Ramirez was reacting to the swing of Rizzo. Actually took a step to his right first before breaking to cover the bag. And you see the hesitation by Flowers, who has to wait, can't afford to throw that ball into center field.
So Starling gets a stolen base, and it is the cleanup man who tied the game in Cincinnati yesterday in the 8th inning with a 2-run homer.
Home run number 5 for Soriano on the year, and you could tell by his reaction he had no doubt that it was going to leave the yard.
Drives that ball to deep left. Viciedo back on it. It's off the fence. Castro scores. That is a long 2-out RBI single. So that stolen base looming large as the Cubs get a run out of it.
Trying to go in on Soriano with a fastball and did not get it in far enough. Alfonso able to get the barrel on it, and the Cubs draw first blood. Yeah, he was watching a little bit going down the line, hoping it would leave the ballpark, and that negated any chance at 2 bases.
Picks up his 19th RBI. Now Scott Hairston. Father Jerry played for the White Sox. And Scott grew up in Naperville, spent his senior year of high school in Tucson, Arizona. 9th member of his family to play pro ball, the 5th to play in the majors. His grandfather Sam played for the White Sox. His uncle John was a Cub in 1969. So was his older brother Jerry. Another uncle, 3 cousins who played minor league ball as well. And I guess when they knocked down Old Comiskey Park, he cried. He got pretty emotional. That's where he grew up watching baseball. Fouled back. Now he'd have been like 10 maybe at the time.
I wouldn't want to tangle with the Hairstons at the the family picnic softball. My goodness, that's a lot of ball players in one family. He's in a pretty nice run here of facing left-hander, so maybe he'll be able to find some rhythm at home plate. He's had some better swings lately. Obviously the number's not good. But when you look at his numbers specifically against left-handed pitching, and that's why he was brought in here, he slugged better than .500 last year against lefties. His strikeout rate is not particularly high, so it's not like he's being overmatched. His batting average in balls in play is really, really low, so that speaks to weak contact, but also some misfortune. So hopefully that will turn around for him.
He hasn't DH'd a lot. 34 career plate appearances in his career. I asked him about it before the game. He said he will ride the stationary bike, do some stretching between at bats. And he says I have to watch the game, and he can do that in the clubhouse when he is doing those exercises. Doesn't want to get too far away from the action, but also can't just sit on the bench for 3 hours and walk up to the plate 3 or 4 times and feel like he's ready to go without getting the adrenaline going. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. So all the outs were punch outs, but a walk, a key stolen base, and an RBI hit. The Cubs lead 1-0.
Bonjour, je t'adore, c'est aujourd'hui et toujours, maman. How about me?
Here's to a life less routine. The more connected, athletic, seductive Lexus RX. Lease the 2013 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, with $26.99 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
Save big money during Menards' 11% sale.
Receive an 11% rebate on all your purchases all this week.
Give your landscape a new look. 16-inch brick-faced concrete blocks are $199 each after 11% rebate. River Rock is $149 per bag after 11% rebate. And Colorado Sunrise Stone is just $311 a bag after 11% rebate.
Hurry in now and save big money.
With an 11% rebate on everything in the store.
Save big money at Menards.
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'd rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Cubs got a run in the top of the first. Now the White Sox Southwest starting lineup written out by Robin Ventura. Alejandro De Aza will lead it off. Alexei Ramirez is at short. Some low batting averages, but a lot of guys heating up. Rios, Dunn, Konerko, Viciedo. Connor Gillespie has been really good after coming over from the Giants. Jeff Keppinger's at second. Tyler Flowers, the catcher, back in their lineup. as well.
A little different look for the Cubs defensively this evening. Julio Bourbon gets a start in center. Ryan Sweeney gets a turn in right. Soriano in his customary position in left. Ransom, Castro, Barney, Rizzo around the infield. Castillo behind the plate. Our Alexis pursuing perfection starting pitcher. Jeff Samardzija, 2-6, 3.25 ERA. Big strikeout numbers. Yeah, he does. He needs like a 5-1 lead in the third inning is what he needs.
Called strike on De Aza. 7 homers, which puts him among the major league leaders from the leadoff spot. Samardzija with a 1-0 loss at Pittsburgh his last time out. 1 run on 3 hits in 7 innings. Normally would put you in a great position to win.
And he's lost 2 games by the score of 1-0 this year. Happened to him in Cincinnati back on April 24th. 6 innings of 1-run ball in that game.
So I alluded to the similarities between these two teams. The White Sox have had 39 of their 48 games decided by 3 runs or less. The Cubs have had 38 of their 49 games decided by 3 or less. So these all should be close, which means they probably won't.
It means it's going to be 9-2. Well, I think, when you break the clubs down, they've both had their struggles offensively. As you mentioned, the starting pitching's been good. Sox bullpen has been better.
Lined to right, caught by Sweeney. Now Alexei Ramirez has played every inning this season at short. Not quite sure when his main double play partner Gordon Beckham is going to be back. He has a fractured hamate bone in his left wrist, had surgery in April and recently had a setback. Some discomfort in that wrist, so he's expected to resume baseball activities on Wednesday. In the meantime, Keppinger's moved from 3rd to 2nd, and the rookie Gillespie's done a really nice job. Swing and a miss. 97. Some extra heat from Jeff to make it 1-2.
Grew up coming to games here on the south side. He was pumped up for this assignment tonight.
One and 2. Rios on deck. The pitch down the right field line. This is twisting toward foul ground and lands untouched. Bounced foul.
It was interesting. Before Samardzija got on top of the mound there, he looked over at Ransom and said something, and it may be he said, "Be ready," because he shook about 3 different times to get to fastball in. He had it in his mind. He wanted to come in on Ramirez there.
Got him to chase. Picks up his first strikeout.
Speed him up with the fastball in. Finish him off with the splitter down. really valuable when you can throw that pitch to right-handed hitters as well as left for a right-handed pitcher. Some guys just don't feel comfortable throwing, whether it's a splitter or a straight change, whatever their off-speed pitch is, right on right or left on left. He has the ability to execute it.
1-1 on Alex Rios, hitting .350 over his last 20 games, including an 18-game hitting streak, which ended a couple of days ago. It was the longest, still is the longest in the American League this season. And he pops into right. Sweeney with the grab and a 1-2-3 first for Samardzija.
Sometimes going to new places is the only way to truly arrive. Going new places, that's how we fly. Beginning June 2nd, Southwest Airlines is offering new nonstop service from Midway to Wichita, starting at $99 one way. Book now online, only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Here for you, doing what you like to do.
Country knows everything's waiting for you.
You can grow your own way.
You can have it now for another day. So grow your own way.
Country Financial. Auto, home, life, retirement.
Whoa. Don't want you spilling that hot latte on my driver's seat.
This is my car. Who are you?
I'm the second owner.
The what?
I will own this car after you. Look, I'm not telling you how to drive our car.
Our car?
If you're going to have a latte in the car, keep a lid on it.
It's a cappuccino.
Still needs a lid.
The exceptional certified pre-owned program with the highest quality cars. Good news for the second owner.
Take care of my car.
Visit your local Audi dealer to learn about the many benefits of our comprehensive certified pre-owned program.
We'll file this under the if you don't love this, you don't love baseball. Munenori Kawasaki with a game-ending two-run double for the Blue Jays yesterday. Mark DeRosa scored the winning run and was being interviewed after the game.
Mark, when Munenori Kawasaki showed up here, you said, I don't know what he's saying all the time, but he sure gives a lift to this team. Oh, yeah. He certainly did this afternoon, didn't he?
I mean, he's played great. He's played great. Come on, Mooney. This is his interview. I'll be his translator.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Thank you very much. My name is Munenori Kawasaki. I'm from Japan. I'm Japanese.
I can't follow that.
And then he breaks out the book.
Yeah. You have some notes here.
Yeah.
And what do you have written in your book so far?
Yeah. My teammate gave me an opportunity, so I wanted to do something about it.
And then the shaving cream and the Gatorade.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Great stuff. 1-1 on Wellington Castillo at the game-winning hit for the Cubs yesterday. We were watching that on the team bus heading to the airport, and everybody roared. Quintana with a 1-2. Hit hard on the ground. Ramirez will gobble it up. Fire a strike to Konerko.
Long and rangy is Ramirez. Covers a lot of ground out there at shortstop.
Here is Cody Ransom, the only Cub with previous at-bats against Quintana. Cody 0 for 3 against him. I wouldn't call Ransom necessarily a grizzled veteran, but he's been around a while. His big league debut was 2001 with the Giants. So I was talking to him today about some of the interleague heavyweight rivalry matchups he's been a part of, and I think he's been a part of the top 3. The Giants and the A's, the Yankees and the Mets, and now the Cubs and the White Sox. He was kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And I said, but Cody, we're on the air for 3 or 3.5 hours. We find that interesting. He said, if you find it interesting, great. I'm all for it. The 1-1 is below the knees. 2 balls in the strike.
Well, these quote-unquote crosstown rivalries, in many ways, they're more about the fans than the players. The players, they don't care who they're playing against. They just want to win games. A lot of fun for the fans, though.
Could not hold up.
The best rivalries in sports are against the teams that you compete for the same prize for. So that's why the Cubs and the Cardinals have had that rich tradition for so long. They're in the same division.
Two is on the way, and it just missed. Full count. Ryan Sweeney on deck. Another ball hit hard, but also on the ground to Gillespie, and he throws to first in plenty of time. So Sweeney, who came up with the Sox back in '06, just 33 games with the Southsiders over his first 2 big league seasons, then with the A's, the Red Sox, and now the Cubs.
Left-handed hitters actually hitting for a higher average off Quintana, 264 versus 222, but no left-handed hitter has gone deep off of the southpaw. He's given up 5 home runs to righties.
Pitch, another foul.
One of those left-right splits I was talking about.
Cutter just off the plate. Sets up a 2-2 offering. Popped up left side. Gillespie to end the inning. 4 straight retired by Quintana after the RBI hit from Soriano in the first.
Is it?
It's beautiful.
Could you imagine if this was for sale?
There's a mortgage that's right for you.
We could get another dog.
A baby.
Like a puppy? You mean like a baby dog?
BMO Harris Bank.
Greg! It's too late for you. You're already in the hole. Ow! I tried to save Aziz. I tried. Everyone gets a 1/5 of everything.
I want 1/5 of your t-shirt, the bottom part.
You couldn't handle my midriff.
I don't need a group. I'm like DMX, man. You can't stop, drop, and open up shop alone.
This is the end. Rated R.
Nobody gives you more in a 7-passenger vehicle than Dodge.
Dodge Durango delivers best-in-class standard power and towing. Dodge Journey is America's most versatile midsize crossover. And Dodge Grand Caravan is America's best-selling, most awarded minivan ever. So maybe the most important thing we give you in a 7-passenger vehicle is a choice. Now, during the Memorial Day sales event, get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan.
The battle for the Crosstown Cup continues at Wrigley Field when the White Sox travel north to play the Cubs on Wednesday, May 29th and Thursday, May 30th. Tickets for both afternoon games, including in the Budweiser bleachers, are still available. Visit Cubs.com today to purchase.
DH Adam Dunn. 43 career homers against the Cubs. Only Albert Pujols has hit more among active players. Playing through some back pain. He was 2 for 25 with 13 strikeouts since leaving early on May 18th against the Angels. He did homer yesterday against Miami, and both hits during this stretch have left the yard.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah. More home runs than singles. Typically strikes out a ton, draws a lot of walks, and hits the ball out of the ballpark.
He broke his bat, and Sweeney's going to have room on the warning track. I think it's fair to say if he doesn't break his bat, it's 1-1. So that'll bring up Paul Konerko. Let's go back a year ago at Wrigley Field. Konerko homered off Samardzija, and then his next at bat, a very scary moment. Pitch got away from Samardzija. No intent on Jeff's part. No bad blood resulted as Konerko ended up missing a few days. Well, that was a scary incident.
Yeah, that could be very unsettling for the guy who threw the ball. I mean, obviously, it's really unsettling for the guy that got hit.
Fair ball, Ransom. Bounces the throw, but Rizzo able to adjust and make the catch.
Yeah, nice footwork over there at first base by Rizzo, positioning himself to handle. Proved to be a tricky in-between hop, but he stays with it. Gets Konerko. Paul, not a speedy guy. Rizzo had plenty of time to make the play and get out of harm's way.
Diane Viciedo, the left fielder. Some DL time earlier this season with a strained oblique. Kyuji Fujikawa going to the disabled list today for the second time this season because of a muscular strain in his right forearm. He'll have an MRI tomorrow. He left the game yesterday complaining of arm soreness, so let's hope that's not serious, but considering it has popped up again, that's not good. The slicing liner right to Darwin Barney. So 6 up, 6 down for Samardzija. Cubs 1, White Sox nothing after 2.
Hi, I'm Jan. Welcome to Toyota.
We're looking for a car with great MPG.
You've come at the right time. It's our Toyota Time sales event.
I remember from my research that Toyota is the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker.
You're right. Great memory.
I never forget anything.
You can say that again. Whoops.
Don't miss big Memorial Day savings, like 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2013 Prius, or lease a Prius for $209 a month and get $500 down payment assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
When considering a luxury car, who do you ask for advice? Your cousin spray tans. Your coworker makes mixtapes. And the neighbor is a reenactor. Maybe you should ask the experts, like Edmunds.com and like Forbes. The Acura TL. Luxury. Highly recommended.
Visit your Chicago Acura dealer for attractive offers on the 2013 TL.
Why are twice as many people choosing Verizon over any other carrier? Many choose us because we have the largest 4G LTE network. Others because of our reputation for reliability. Or maybe it's because we received J.D. Power & Associates Customer Service Award 4 times in a row. In the end, there are countless reasons, but one choice. That's powerful. Verizon.
Gather your friends and family, make Wrigley Field a part of your summer plans. Tickets are available throughout the season. For more information, including group plans, Budweiser bleacher availability, and premier options, visit Cubs.com. Darwin Barney hitting 9th. And he hits a high fly, shallow left. Viciedo coming on. He's got it. Well, with Fujikawa going on the disabled list, the Cubs today claimed Alex Burnett, a right-hander off waivers from the Baltimore Orioles. Former Twin and Oriole. I believe is in the ballpark and available out of the pen tonight. 25 years old.
Actually, it was a waiver claim by Toronto first and then Baltimore. And there was a time when he was a fairly highly regarded prospect with the Twins. He was a starting pitcher in their organization initially. Bourne had a couple of hits already on this trip with the bunt. There he is. There's the new guy. The new guy always has to sit at the end of the bench. Just to work his way back towards the middle. It's a little hazing thing.
Pretty quiet out there in the bullpen. It's early. Don't want to peak too early. 0-2, and Bourbon with an awkward swing strikes out. I'd say Quintana has settled in.
As I mentioned earlier, Don Cooper said if he gets his curveball going early, that's when he's at his best. Kid apparently has great aptitude for learning how to pitch. They've really worked with him. Initially adding the cutter, then tightening up the curveball. Don gives him real high marks for his pitchability and his willingness to try new things.
Really worked hard on strengthening his legs and back and upper body in general over the winter. And fastball velocity has gone up a little bit as a result. There's a breaking ball that's low. It's 1-1 on Castro. Key walk in the first inning, then a stolen base, and Soriano knocked him in with 2 outs. Chop to the shortstop. Ramirez to Konerko. The Cubs go down in order for the second straight inning. 7 straight sent down by Quintana since the Cubs grabbed the lead.
What started as an ordinary piece of aluminum was about to become something extraordinary. We have the technology to make it more refreshing than it's ever been. Bluer, colder, wider, venti-er. It's the ultimate delivery system for cold refreshment.
Thanks, scientist.
You're welcome, beach guy. The world's most refreshing can, only from Coors Light.
It's avocado season at Subway.
Who else but Subway? Talk about a home run.
This super tasting superfood helps power any training routine.
To be the best, you've got to eat the best.
Try rich, creamy avocado on any of your favorite subs.
It goes great with trout.
Like on the protein-packed Subway Club. Tender roast beef, Black Forest ham, crisp veggies, and super tasty avocado.
Subway, the official training restaurant of Ryan Howard, of Mike Trout,
Carl Edwards, and athletes everywhere.
Hurry to the Hyundai Memorial Day sales event featuring the models that all of America's talking about. Right now, get incredible deals like 0% APR for 60 months on Elantra, plus a $500 valued owner coupon. Or take home the dependable Sonata and also enjoy 0% APR for 60 months. And drive away with Hyundai Assurance, including America's best warranty. The Hyundai Memorial Day sales event ends May 31st. Visit myhyundaichicago.com.
Tomorrow, the excitement and unpredictability of the Crosstown Cup continues as the Cubs and Sox throw down for one more game on the South Side. Pre-game live from the ballpark kicks off at 6:30. Cubs, White Sox, tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Make sure you send us your comments on tonight's game through Twitter using hashtag Cubs Talk, and we'll read one back later in the game. It's our AT&T tweet of the game. Cubs lead 1-0. Hope you've had a great Memorial Day weekend. 7, 8, and 9, starting with the rookie, Connor Gillespie. Acquired from the Giants on February 22nd in an under-the-radar minor league deal. And because of the Beckham injury, his contributions have loomed large here. Leading American League rookies in hits, extra base hits. There's a single. And Samardzija will have to work from the stretch for the first time tonight.
Nice short stroke here by Gillespie. A two-seam fastball running away from him, but he cuts it off. Gets the head out in front and hits it on a line of right field for a leadoff single.
It all kind of comes from the same place, but you've got Cole Gillespie, Connor Gillespie, and our good friend from the Tennessee Smokies, Mick Gillespie. We've covered just about all the vowels in the middle of this surname.
His dad played pro ball, Mark, who's a real good collegiate career at Mississippi State. And then I don't know if he ever made the big leagues or not. Power guy. Keppinger had been in a real deep funk. Came out of it recently.
We're thinking maybe a hot gun tonight. Both starters a little above where they normally are, or just maybe both are throwing hard.
It's the Crosstown Cup, man. They're jacked up.
2-0 on Keppinger, who has walked twice in 172 plate appearances. His first came in his 33rd game, and he's going to bounce into a double play. 6-4-3. One thing you can count on with Keppinger, he's going to make contact. He doesn't walk or strike out much.
Yeah, usually hits for a pretty high batting average, but that has not developed, as I mentioned, until just recently. But I didn't check today, but the other day he had the lowest OPS in all of baseball. On base plus slugging. That's generally not a good thing to be the lowest.
Generally not a good thing?
Yeah,
I'm going to say it's
a rare occasion that you want to be that guy.
Tyler Flowers hitting 9th, back in the lineup after missing 3 games with back spasms. That's a problem for a catcher.
It's only a good thing to be the lowest guy in the big leagues in terms of OPS, because the alternative would be to be in the minor league. So that's the only time
I'm with you on
that's acceptable.
Well, we saw A.J. Przinsky with the Rangers. Cubs beat Texas 2 different stops, 2 out of 3. And A.J. was a guy Cub fans love to hate. And the main reason was he did a lot of damage against the Cubs. Came up with a bunch of big hits.
Well, A.J. was just that guy all around baseball. He annoyed people. And then you mix in the whole north side, south side rivalry and some fisticuffs, and then you got something going.
Well, you were trying to remember the last time you were in this ballpark a few years ago with the Astros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've come here for interleague play a couple of different times. The Astros have.
Castro will throw to first. He gets Flowers, and the inning is over. So the White Sox can't take advantage of the leadoff single. 1-0 Northsiders.
Sign a waiver?
Waiver?
Two seats, one for you and one for racing legend Mario Andretti. The fastest seat in sports sweepstakes. Enter for a chance to start an IZOD IndyCar Series race at shophonda.com.
Why is Avis right for me? Because as a business traveler, they get me. They know I need a car big enough to travel with all my essentials. They make sure I have a GPS. After all, I'm often forced to find my way to some pretty inhospitable places.
How much longer do you think we'll be? I'm hungry. Shoes are so tight. Gloves are driving me crazy. Water? Hello? I'm in the desert.
And they know I need something that can handle some rather extreme conditions.
Avis. It's Nigel Barker's space, and it's your space.
Left the darkness, light a fire for the silent and the broken hearted. Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up, you girls and boys? Won't you stand up, stand up, stand up? Won't you stand up and use your voice?
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Tuesday at 5, we are live at U.S. Cellular Field ahead of Game 2 of the Crosstown Series between the Cubs and the White Sox. Plus an update on the Blackhawks and the NBA playoffs. All Tuesday, Sports Talk Live, 5.
This fourth inning is brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Liv Moss. Got some happy birthday wishes here on May 27th, starting with our good friend Pat Hughes, the radio voice of the Cubs. Happy 58th birthday, 18th year in the Cubs radio booth. And you got a couple of good ones, parallel careers in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Jeff Bagwell and the big hurt, Frank Thomas, celebrating birthdays today. Slugging first baseman.
I want to say 46? 45, 68, right?
68, yeah.
Happy 45th. Frank Thomas and Jeff Bagwell, and also Ruth Kath, lifelong Cub fan, Sugar Grove, Illinois. Happy 79th. It's from your grandson, Kyle.
He wants it up. Went into Yogi Berra mode.
Punched in the air out toward left center. De Aza for the out.
Soriano hit his ball very hard off the wall for a long single, but aside from that, boy, there has not been a whole lot of solid contact off this young lefty.
At the knees for a strike. Quintana made his first career opening day roster this season. Late break there by Rios, battling the sun. He can't make the play. I'm not sure he ever got a good look at that ball.
He got hung up in a bank of those lights. You're right. It was a tentative approach. See, he's fighting it all the way there, and at the last leaves his feet to try to snare it. Hard to catch what you can't see. He just was never able to really track that ball.
So Soriano is 2 for 2. Last time out for Quintana against Boston. He took a no-hitter into the 7th. David Ortiz broke it up. He's given up 2 hits tonight, both to Soriano, and ball 1 to Scott Hairston. Probably see Deanna Navarro as the Cubs DH tomorrow night.
Quintana prior to last year, had not pitched above Class A ball. Started with their Double-A team last year in Birmingham, was 1-3 there with a 2.77 ERA. Came to the big leagues and handled himself well. A couple of different assignments. Came up initially when they for a doubleheader, and they were able to add a man to the roster. They made that new rule. Came up and pitched and sent back down.
Swing and a miss on a hit and run attempt. Soriano is in. The Cubs are 2 for 2.
That time Quintana did not use a quick slide step. Flowers got a high fastball to handle. Just looked like he moved laterally instead of stepping forward through the throw, almost like he was trying to create a little contact with Hairston as opposed to just going ahead and making this strong throw to second base. Flowers had been out of action for a while with some back spasms.
Popped up. It'll be an easy play for Konerko.
Let's see if we can see it here with Flowers. It just kind of looked funky to me. Hairston with the swing and miss. And see how Flowers kind of drifts instead of stepping out straight through home plate to make that throw to second base. Almost like he was hedging his bet. I'm going to make the throw, but I'm going to see if I can initiate a little contact here and get an interference call all at the same time.
It's up to Castillo with 2 outs. Bounce to third, backhanded play. Gillespie, inning over. Cubs strand Soriano at second. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cubs 1, Sox nothing.
The hot and spicy McChicken. Revving up the dollar menu with a blend of savory spices. Get hold of crispy tender satisfaction or grab a familiar favorite, all for just $1 each. Hot and spicy. Can you handle more to love for less?
Trend asked truck owners who aren't driving a Ford to take the EcoBoost Challenge.
Ford, I'm impressed.
Ford F-150 with EcoBoost technology versus Chevy Silverado.
Silverado is struggling right now. The F-150 just totally outperformed it.
It made towing that huge boat around very easy.
I'm very surprised that it's a V6. I would pick the Ford if I had my choice between the two.
Now get 1,000 trade assist on F-150 and choose either 0 for 60 or 6250 in cash savings plus 1,000 bonus cash.
Vegas! Vegas! Nothing's gonna stop us till we get to Vegas!
Yeah! Your order's ready at the next window.
Thank you.
Next up, refreshment with delicious 49-cent cones at McDonald's for a limited time only.
It's Sun Protection Day when the Cubs take on the Diamondbacks on Sunday, June 2nd. 1:20 game. First 5,000 children 13 and younger will receive a Sun safety shirt presented by PSPF and AAD. Then at the conclusion of the game, the first 1,000 kids will have the opportunity to run the bases. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. It's hard to read that when you got half a cookie stuck in your throat. Those chocolate chip cookies here are really good.
That'll be a good day. That's a good message for all youngsters and adults as well. Really take care of your skin as we get into the summer months. Protect yourself against skin cancer.
Wear a hat. Slather on that lotion. Because I know there's a sun. I know it's somewhere around here. I've seen it before. think it's going to be 90 later on this week.
Doesn't seem possible right now, does it?
Does not.
Cutter is in on De Aza. 57 as we got started, but the humidity makes it feel a little cooler than that. Breaking ball is fouled away on the check swing. Tons of action already completed. Baltimore beat the Nationals. A lot of these rivalries in interleague play as De Aza hits one on the ground to Barney for the out. Remember, Jim Johnson gave it up yesterday. But the Orioles bounce back with a 6-2 win. Reds beat the Indians 4-2.
Chu and Votto went deep for the Reds in that game.
You know, the Votto one broke a tie in the 8th. 2-run shot. Fouled off by Ramirez. If you missed it, Matt Garza was not too pleased with Johnny Cueto airmailing one over David DeJesus yesterday, and Garza spoke about it to reporters after the game. Dusty Baker was asked about it today. I don't think Johnny Cueto's even said a word about it. Did not speak to the media yesterday, nor did he before their game today as Ramirez bounces out. Dusty's solution is next time the Reds and Cubs get together, lock these two guys in a room, let them fight it out.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, and I haven't heard David DeJesus say anything about it other than the fact that he smiled when it happened yesterday. Here's the very first at bat of the game. David taking his time, and Cueto was in a bit of a hurry and got frustrated. But you know, again, when I saw this yesterday, it was, to me, it was more like the Randy Johnson thing in the All-Star game, throwing it over Kruk's head, and then later on with Larry Walker, and it wasn't so much meant to intimidate, or certainly wasn't going to hit him. It was kind of silly.
I think you're right. Cueto has really good command. I was talking with somebody today in the Cubs clubhouse and said if he wanted to hit him, he would have. He knew exactly what he was doing. But until Cueto speaks about it, we'll never know. Dusty said, quote, just put him in a room, let him box, and let it be over with. I'm serious about that.
Take that up with the Rules Committee. We're going to have the airing of grievances. Do it every year at Festivus.
Well, if they do it, we'll do our best to air it right here on Comcast Sportsnet. You're home for Cubs baseball.
You deserve soft serve Burger King in a cone, 50 cents. Tell your friends. Frozen treat, beat the heat. You're in luck. Half a buck. Burger King soft serve, so tasty. Burger King soft serve, 50 cents. Get it now.
You could tell when a track works or not. You know, if people are dancing or if they're clearing the floor.
Whether you're a rock star, people feeling good about themselves is what I strive for.
Allie was great. She cuts exactly what I wanted.
We rock the cut.
Yeah.
Great day for a move.
Yeah, you want to help?
Nah, I'm good. Hey, I still owe you that $500?
Yeah, and a lawnmower.
You've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll hook up your new pad with phone and super fast internet, and you can get that whole home DVR upgrade for free. I just saved you over $500. It's like you owe me now.
DirecTV Movers Deal. Call now to bundle, plus ask how to get NFL Sunday Ticket.
It's our pride in the red, white, and blue. It's our commitment that always comes shining through. It's everything that you need. The hardest working people in America find value at Farm and Fleet.
Sportsnet Central every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Get real-time info, including pitcher gas gauge, stats, tweets with Cubs in-game live only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class.
Hey, there's Captain America.
There's Cody Ransom in the dirt.
He's not Captain America, but he can jump really high. What's that deal? What is that thing?
I want to say 60 inches, the standing jump.
It's going to be an out if it comes down.
It'll be Ramirez to make the catch. I got an email from, or actually a couple of texts, tweets. Jeez.
See,
tweets,
you're so
text,
connected,
emails,
man.
Calls,
smoke signals.
Asking about Tyler Flowers if he's painting his fingernails, and the answer is yes. And JD, tell us why he would paint his fingernails.
So the pitcher can see the signs more clearly. I mean, some guys used to just put white tape around their fingers, but that could be a little intrusive. So guys go to this paint deal now. He goes to the local salon. Could you hook me up here a little mani-pedi and slap a little yellow on there for me while you're at it?
The 2-1 from Quintana. Not bad. Did you ever work with a catcher and you said, I appreciate your painting your nails, but I actually can see your fingers fine? And he said, no, I'm good with it.
I'm from a much more macho era, but the guys didn't paint their fingers back then. I don't remember guys doing it. They went with the tape. It's just the modern evolved player that's willing to go with the nail polish. Or whatever it is they use. I don't know if they're really using nail polish or some other kind of substance. I played with Casey Candell, and he used to paint his toenails. So. But that was Casey.
There was no function there. It was about fashion.
It was just because.
Ball 4. Sweeney's on. Second walk for Quintana.
Well, Castro stole a base in the first. Soriano stole one last inning. Clearly the Cubs feel like they can do a little running here tonight, even with the lefty on the mound. I think this is a situation where it's important for Ryan Sweeney or any other base runner to take an aggressive lead and bluff like you're going every now and then too. We already saw a situation where Ramirez was late covering the bag on Castro's stolen base. There's been 2 steals in the game, so they're going to be a little sensitive to it on that White Sox infield now. So you might be able to catch somebody out of position, including yourself if you're not careful. Appears to be Quintana's best move. Quintana's best move is that short little step when he goes over, not the high leg kick. Borderline balk there. McKay will be working on Tim Welke a little bit, saying, hey, you sure he's not stepping towards home there when he comes over?
Barney pops it up right near the plate. Konerko calls off Flowers. Time for a Coors Light freeze cam. One of the reasons the Cubs are able to grab the lead. You see a busted hit and run here, and it looked like Flowers had a great shot to get Starlin Castro, but Alexei Ramirez there on your left did not make a quick move to second, and by the time Flowers double clutched, it was too late. See Ramirez pointing at himself saying, "That's on me." And then Soriano would follow up with an RBI single. The little things.
Yeah, and middle infielder will try to hold his ground as long as possible. But Ramirez not only did he get a late break, but he took a move in the other direction initially. I wonder if he just got crossed up on coverage, if he thought for whatever reason that Keppinger would have coverage there. That wouldn't make sense, though.
Julio Bourbon deep to right and gone. A 2-run homer. Well, that's a good comeback. He struck out in each of his first 2 at-bats. His first as a Chicago Cub.
And the first one allowed to a left-handed batter by Quintana this year, and it's kind of ironic in the pregame we were talking about Bourbon's place in the lineup tonight, talking about his speed, how he might try to bunt and try to create something with his legs. And he hits one out of the ballpark, and he can save his legs and just jog around the bases.
You could hear there are a lot of Cub fans in the ballpark tonight. 3-0.
Ooh, I can taste that sausage now. Stoney and Hawk are going to have to provide for us should the Cubs win this series. We still haven't settled on a tiebreaker, though, have we?
No, we haven't.
Run differential.
Well, considering the Cubs are leading 3-0 right now, I'm all for it.
Let's do this. If they split the 4-game series, the tiebreaker will be the average game time temperature in the home ballpark. Whichever is higher, that side will win.
Done.
Go next door and sell that to the boys.
3-2 on Castro. To the shortstop Ramirez, a little double clutch there, just got Castro to end the inning. But Julio Bourbon from the leadoff spot with a 2-run homer, and the Cubs lead in the 5th. It's 3-0.
During Nissan's Sign and Drive event, get up to $1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers. Now, when you choose Nissan, all you need to lease is one of these.
I need a pen. Boom.
Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Excuse me, do you have all the popular smartphones?
We do.
AT&T?
Yes.
T-Mobile?
Sure.
Sprint? Verizon?
Got it.
Do you make commission on this?
No.
Do you have all the plans?
We do.
Does this make my head look big?
No.
Can you activate all of these?
Yes, we can.
Can you transfer my contacts?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm pretty popular.
No problem.
You're good. What number am I thinking of?
9.
Yes.
Trade in your phone and get up to $200 back. Any carrier, any phone, any plan, all in one place. Only at Best Buy.
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'd rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Nissan Sign and Drive event, get up to $1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers. Now, when you choose Nissan, all you need to lease is one of these.
I need a pen. Boom.
Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan with a Coors Light Sportsnet Central update. Cubs place reliever Kyuji Fujikawa on the DL today with strained right forearm. He undergoes an MRI tomorrow in Chicago. Cubs claim reliever Alex Burnett from the Orioles. He gets Fujikawa's spot on the roster. He's available tonight. Todd Hollingsworth, Phil Melton with me on the postgame show. Now back to Len and JD.
Cap, thank you. 3-0. Jeff Samardzija working with a nice advantage here. He's given up just one hit and has faced the minimum.
He must feel like he has a 10-run lead.
In there for a strike.
Samardzija, one of 7 pitchers in the big leagues, averaging better than 10 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. He and A.J. Burnett in the National League have done that.
Bang that one off the mask of Castillo. Drops in low. 2-2. Konerko and Viciedo to follow. Paul Konerko, second all time. 58 interleague home runs. Dunn swings and misses and strikes out. Let's check in with our Luke Stuckmeyer. Take it away, Luke.
Guys, they've been playing these two teams, the Crosstown, since let's see, what was it? 1903. 1903, is that what it is? 91 times. Paul Konerko's played in 70 of the 91 games. He'll never forget last year when he got hit in the eye by Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija said he called him up a few days later just to make sure that he was okay. The two had a good laugh about it. And one more thing I wanted to pass along. Len, I know you're a big hockey fan. I heard the horn going off in between innings. The Blackhawks are on the board.
The power play action. Thank you, Luke.
Yep.
One and nothing on Konerko. You see the average at .237. He's been better lately. .317 over his last 11 games coming in.
Always difficult as a player gets older to decipher whether it's a guy who's in decline or just going through a rough patch. I've seen it probably most notably in recent years with David Ortiz in Boston, where it looked like he was done and then he would just go on a tear. And really, that's where the greats truly stand out. Their prime lasts a lot longer than the average guy. Perform at a high level when others are on the way downhill.
The 3-0. That's ball 4.
First walk of the night issued by Samardzija, and for a power guy, he's been able to keep the walks down. 22 freebies coming into this game tonight. This one is on the knees over the plate. Didn't get the call.
The tricky thing for the White Sox, and they're 26th in the majors in runs. They're 12th in home runs. So they're a team that hits for power, but they don't walk. I mean, these are the bottom 2 teams, the Cubs and the White Sox, in all of baseball in walks. The Cubs have a little more team speed. Konerko, Dunn, Viciedo, these are guys who are not going to win you many games with their base running. So they need to hit for power, but they also need to get on base a lot. And they haven't been able to do that enough yet.
Not hitting for average, not drawing walks, living and dying with the long ball, and very difficult to sustain any level of success doing that. Well, the old adage was, and calling that a foul tip. The old deal was like Rafael Ramirez and those guys from the Dominican Republic, and their line was always, well, you can't walk off the island. That's why I don't walk. We swing at everything. So I guess we could say you can't walk out of Chicago because neither of these clubs walks. Got to hit your way out of Chicago.
Inside that time.
This guy, though, you know, he's starting to figure it out. He's been a bit of a free swinger, but they say his approach has gotten better and better. Willing to hit the ball to right center. Showing a little more patience. Not that time.
That time, you're right. 2 down. Third strikeout for Jeff.
Not a real typical Samardzija game to this point, in that he only had 1 strikeout coming into this inning, but he got done, which you had to figure at some point he'd get at him. And now Viciedo goes out of the zone chasing that split finger.
Gillespie has their only hit, a leadoff single in the third. Average up to 297. Got away from Samardzija. Former White Sox Edwin Jackson tomorrow night. Chris Sale will get the start. His last outing was skipped with mild left shoulder tendonitis, but he's slated to pitch game 2 against Jackson, who will go in at 1-7. Edwin needs a good one tomorrow. Fly ball left field. Soriano going into the corner. On the move. He makes the catch to end the inning. Well, Soriano with that nice running grab with the RBI hit to put the Cubs on the board in the first. Been a good night for him. 3-0.
Sometimes going to new places is the only way to truly arrive. Going new places. That's how we fly. Beginning June 2nd, Southwest Airlines is offering new nonstop service from Midway to Wichita, starting at $99 one way. Book now online, only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Refreshment calls. Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network, or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Tomorrow, the excitement and unpredictability of the Crosstown Cup continues as the Cubs and Sox throw down for one more game on the South Side. Pre-game live from the ballpark kicks off at 6:30. Cubs, White Sox, tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Come out to Wrigley Field to cheer on the Cubs as they battle the Pirates Saturday, June 8th at 3:05. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs retired number flag presented by Office Max. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Cubs try to add to their lead as Rizzo maybe guessing there. Swings and misses for strike 1. Quintana working quickly. 2-1. Twins beat the Brewers 6-3 in Milwaukee. Little video replay, and Joe Mauer ended up with a home run. That one smacked down into the alley in right center. It's going to one-hop the wall. Rizzo will stop at second. That's his 4th double over the last 3 days.
Good at bat. He chased early, and then you could see the pitch pattern there. Everything was away, and he goes out and just stays through this slider that was on the plate, out of third, but not down, and he was able to go and get it and hit it with authority into the alley in right center. Great opportunity to play a little add-on here with Soriano coming up, and he's 2 for 2.
Lost by the Brewers today. They're now 19-30, tied with the Cubs for 4th in the Central.
He was taking a shot, trying to go the other way. Carlos Gomez hit 2 home runs for the Brewers in that game. He now has 10. He's just a flat-out beast. And Gene Segura also went deep. His 8th. Parmalee hit number 4 for the Twins, and Mauer's was his 4th.
Oh, 2.
Mauer had one reviewed on Saturday as well.
I believe that one was upheld. Today's was overturned. Instead of a double, he got a home run. Kelly Johnson hit 2 3-run homers for the Rays, and they sent the Marlins to their 6th consecutive defeat, 10-6 the final.
Calling for that high fastball. Soriano able to lay off. As tempted as he may have been. There they go again. Nope, he's deacon. Not a change of pace, but a change of place. Rises up as if he's calling for that high fastball and then slides down and away.
Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants, I got a good question for you. Who has the only complete game shutout on the Seattle Mariners staff this season?
If it happened today, I saw it.
Aaron Harang, 9-0 over the Padres. He was in jeopardy of losing a spot in their rotation.
Taking their shots out of the zone, trying to get Soriano to chase. Let's see if they change the game plan and throw a strike here.
Fly ball well hit out into right center. Rios with a beat on it, and he's going to make the catch just on the edge of the warning track. Rizzo will tag. So at least Soriano got into third with 1 out.
Good job. Not a sacrifice, but he got the man to third base with just 1 out. He stayed back nicely on that curveball. Put it in play and hit it hard. 3 productive plate appearances for Soriano so far tonight. Sox will pull the infield in.
Cubs so far. The White Sox have just 1 hit off Jeff Samardzija. Cubs have 4 off Quintana, including a big 2-run homer by Julio Bourbon.
Quintana has walked 2 tonight, and they've both scored. He only made that many mistakes, but the mistakes he has made, he has not gotten away with.
That'll get the job done. Rizzo tagging. Rios makes the catch, and he'll just lob it back in. Sack flies. Scott Hairston, 4-0.
Problem that has plagued the Cubs all year long. Man on second, nobody out situations that they have not been able to cash in frequently enough. They do a nice job here. Get him over, get him in. Soriano takes care of the first part, and Hairston gets the sack fly. That's a big run. The way Samars is going tonight, Neil Swaim has to feel pretty comfortable about his situation right now.
But I'm guessing he's not. Most managers are never comfortable until the game is absolutely finished.
The last time he had a hunting hat on, Robin Yount shot him. That's probably why he's not comfortable. He's been looking over his shoulder, seeing if there's any Hall of Famers sneaking up on him.
2-0 to Castillo.
He just asked Rizzo, he said, you don't see Yount? You haven't seen Yount around here, have you? No, Skip, no. Don't worry about it. We're good. I don't know, man. Last time I was with him, he shot me.
He's never going to live that one down. Castillo walked again.
Becoming a walk machine. What's that, the third one in the last 4 days? He had one walk all year.
This is his. He's got a 4-game walk streak.
Okay.
He missed the first game in Cincinnati, but he walked at Pittsburgh, and then he walked Saturday, yesterday, and tonight.
Well, you know, and we kind of laugh about Wellington not having walked. But, I mean, obviously there's value in drawing walks just because you get a free base. Nobody can make a play on you. The other thing is you got to convince opposing pitchers that you're going to take your walks or they'll never throw you strikes. Not if they're smart.
Why Joey Votto does get pitches to hit, because he won't go out of his zone. The 1-2 to Ransom. He struck him out to end the inning. Cubs add to their lead. Rizzo the leadoff double. Hairston eventually knocked him in on the sack fly. 4-zip.
So what's the deal on this?
Well, the Odyssey clearance event is happening now. They hold their value better than any other minivan, according to ALG. And Honda is KBB.com's most trusted brand.
Wow.
It's perfect. Well, your timing is perfect.
Hurry into the Honda 2013 Odyssey clearance event and get a great deal on a roomy and stylish Honda Odyssey. Named a 2013 IIHS Top Safety Pick.
Tomorrow, the excitement and unpredictability of the Crosstown Cup continues as the Cubs and Sox throw down for one more game on the South Side. Pre-game live from the ballpark kicks off at 6:30. Cubs, White Sox, tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Why are twice as many people choosing Verizon over any other carrier?
Many choose us because we have the largest 4G LTE network. Others because of our reputation for reliability. Or maybe it's because we received J.D. Power & Associates Customer Service Award 4 times in a row. In the end, there are countless reasons, but one choice. That's powerful. Verizon.
Why shop TJ Maxx and Marshalls? 1. You get all the awesome brand names. 2. You get them for less than department stores, and that's awesome. 3. She'll think you look stylish and awesome. 4. You'll actually be awesome, which is awesome. TJ Maxx and Marshalls. 2 awesome ways to score.
Watching Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Cubs leading 4-0. Let's get our AT&T tweet of the game. Nick asks, what's your favorite thing about the Crosstown Classic? Well, I'm going to let you answer first as Keppinger rolls to Darwin Barney.
Right now I'm going to go with those cookies we've been eating up there, okay, that they have here at the ballpark.
I have 2 reasons. One would be that we get to see the White Sox during the season. You know, they're just a few miles away from our home ballpark, and it's just nice to see a team that you watch on TV. And
it's nice to be able to drive your car to a road game.
That's what I was going to ultimately say. My wife wouldn't be happy if I didn't say this, and it's the truth. We have a couple of road games at home. You can sleep in your own bed for a couple of extra nights a summer. That's a great thing. I think everybody involved would agree with that. That stung Castillo. Yeah, that part of the Cubs travel is great. You get 2 extra nights at home, and then you have 8 or 9, sometimes 10 games in Milwaukee, which is an hour-and-a-half car ride, an hour via train. Short flights from Cincinnati and St. Louis and Pittsburgh.
Probably the best travel situation in the league.
I think so. Flowers strikes out.
Strikeouts are starting to come for Samardzija now. That was a nasty split finger pitch. That looked like a knuckleball. That thing tumble and dive.
The only thing Samardzija hasn't done tonight is hit a home run, which he did a couple of starts ago.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit irked that he drew the road assignment in this series.
Do you like starting in the American League? You didn't make a ton of starts, did you, in the AL?
I was with the Twins for the better part of 2 years.
Was it weird not having to worry about batting, or did you like it?
I was okay with it. I enjoyed, as incompetent as I was, I enjoyed the whole thing about, you felt like more like a player. You know, you took BP, and I was horrible at it. So if anybody should have not wanted to do it, I would have been the guy, but I was dumb enough to enjoy it.
Piazza couldn't hold up, and Castillo will fire to first. So Samardzija really getting into a groove here through 6. The White Sox have just 1 hit, and it's 4-0 Cubs.
When it comes comes to Chicago sports, we're as obsessed as you are. Every night on Sportsnet Central, get can't-miss highlights and inside stories on the teams you live for. Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Tonight after postgame live on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
She's still the one for you. You know it even after all these years. But your erectile dysfunction, that could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injuries, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
I returned in Djibouti, Africa, 2004.
Vietnam in 1972.
Fort Benning, Georgia in 1999.
USAA auto insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve military members, veterans, and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Dedicated to those for whom every day is Memorial Day. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Tomorrow it's Game 2 of the Crosstown Cup on Comcast Sportsnet. Get the most in-depth coverage live from the South Side beginning at 6:30. Don't miss Cubs White Sox Game 2 tomorrow night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
4-0. The Cubs have the lead. Right-hander Nate Jones is on for Quintana, who gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. By the way, Jeff Samardzija, 68 pitches through 6.
Wow, that one clocked in 98 miles an hour. Jones, part of the hardest throwing bullpen in Major League Baseball, according to Fangraphs. Average velocity of the White Sox pen is 94 miles an hour plus. And Jones clearly does his part. Jeff Samardzija is dealing.
One and 2 on Sweeney. And Sweeney went, but he waited too long. Throw gets away from Konerko, so Sweeney's aboard. Wild pitch on a strikeout.
Yeah, as a batter, you're always hesitant to take off here because you're hoping they don't call a swing on you. If you take off, obviously, you're basically admitting that you did go. Ultimately, he gets the call, takes off. The throw gets away from Konerko, and he gets a cheap base. Strikeout, wild pitch.
Barney looks at a strike at 97. Nate Jones went to Northern Kentucky University. Excellent rookie season last year, 8-0. And as JD mentioned, they've got a lot of gas coming out of that bullpen. A little check swing line drive caught by the shortstop Ramirez. Well, we mentioned Joe Mauer's double that was turned into a home run. Let's check it out from earlier today in Milwaukee. Now watch, the ball hits the yellow pad right atop the wall, then caroms off the back wall. Pretty easy call once the umpires looked at the video. And again, I just feel like we're headed toward having a fifth umpire in a booth somewhere in the ballpark who could radio down very quickly. I mean, we looked at it, and it took us 4 seconds to say home run.
And the commissioner has said that he's willing to take another look at his stance on replay. So it seems like there's going to be a real strong push to add more replay to Major League Baseball next year, maybe even this postseason. I don't know.
That one ripped into left center. Been a good night for Bourbon, who, by the way, homered in the fifth for the first time in the major leagues since 2010, and his last home run was off Mark Burley. That's when Bourbon was with the Rangers. Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action. Big blow of the game, 2-run homer.
That came with 2 outs. Yesterday it was with 2 outs, but the Cubs did all their damage.
You know, I was wondering about the wild pitch. Because if Flowers makes a decent throw, Sweeney's out by 3 steps. And Bob Rosenberg, the fine official scorer, has taken away the wild pitch and called it an error on the catcher.
It's all about making adjustments in this game, even for the official score.
Ground ball base hit. Sweeney coming around third. Viciedo up with it. Throw to the plate. They're going to get him. Viciedo firing a strike to Tyler Flowers.
White Sox threw out 2 Marlins at home plate in yesterday's game. Viciedo is a guy that people tend to challenge, but if he keeps throwing the ball like this, that's going to change. It's plenty on this one. It's right on the mark, and they get their man. Almost lost control of that baseball.
So Rizzo with runners at first and third, but now there are 2 outs. Driven to deep center. De Aza back to the wall. The leap. He can't catch it. Bourbon already in. Castro's going to score. Rizzo making the turn on his way to third. It's a triple.
Rizzo, who had gone quiet for a number of days, has heated back up. De Aza was in position to make a play on this ball. You get the sense that maybe he lost sight of it momentarily. Rizzo's watching the play develop, and then as it kicks off the wall, he throws it into high gear. Misjudged that ball. Maybe had a little slice spin on it. But, you know, the very first pitch that Jones threw in this inning was 98 miles an hour. Clearly has good stuff, but his delivery, when we talk about pitchers that hide the ball well, looks like the hitters get a real good look at it. Comes up high out of his glove and just kind of holds it there. I mean, that's... The hitters would tell you he's got really good stuff, but we see him pretty well.
Big 6-0 lead. How about 7-0? Rizzo's in. Soriano has 3 hits.
Hey, this could really help run differential if we end up tying this series.
I like the way you think.
Besides the encased meat that we have on the line here with Hawk and Stoney, are there any other trinkets? Anything else at stake in this series other than pride?
I think pride and moving up in the standings.
Is there an actual Crosstown Cup? Is there a trophy?
There is, yeah.
Okay.
Don Cooper, that was a one-sided conversation he just had with Jones and Flowers. Four straight hits.
And not a whole lot of pitches in that stretch. And he's throwing it over, and they're whacking at it. $17 in the inning.
I remember he did strike out Sweeney to start the inning. Ryan would reach on an error by the catcher, eventually thrown out at the plate. Scott Hairston can hit some foul balls. That reminded me of Rob Deere, the Cubs assistant hitting coach, who hit some mammoth home runs, and he could hit some foul balls into the third deck as well. Three and one on Hairston. 3 runs in. The Cubs have scored now in the last 3 innings.
There you go. Showing a pretty quick bat on that inside fastball. Jones getting a pretty good run on his two-seam fastball. Moving in on Hairston. He's able to get the barrel on it, but it's so far in he can't keep it fair. Seems like they would go away. Nope.
Viciedo puts it in his pocket, and the inning's over. 3 more for the Cubs. Stretch time from the south side. 7-0 Cubs.
Look at them kids. They have no idea what it was like before U-verse high-speed internet.
Yeah. You couldn't just stream movies to a device like that.
One time, I'd wait half a day to watch a movie.
You watch movies? I was lucky if I could watch a show.
Show? Man, I was happy to see a sneezing panda clip.
Trevor, have you eaten today? You sound a little grumpy.
Connect all your Wi-Fi enabled devices with U-verse high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
So when was the last time?
When we had nowhere we had to be.
Yeah. If we're meeting for the first time today on a train, would you ask me to get off the train with you?
Of course.
It's not the love of one other person that matters, it's the love of life.
Why am I finding myself so attracted to this woman?
Before Midnight, rated R, starts Friday, only in theaters.
Put more into your Memorial Day with the GMC Memorial Day sale. Get a 2013 GMC Sierra with more standard features like StabiliTrak and Eaton rear locking differential. More confidence with America's best pickup coverage, including 2 years of scheduled maintenance. And more value with up to $6,750 on the Sierra PowerTech when you use your package discount. Or current GMC owners trade up for a total value of $9,250. The only thing there won't be more of are 2013 GMC Sierras, because after this, they'll be gone.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Tuesday at 5, we are live at U.S. Cellular Field ahead of Game 2 of the Crosstown Series between the Cubs and the White Sox. Plus an update on the Blackhawks and the NBA playoffs. All Tuesday, Sports Talk Live, 5.
Today, USAA would like to pay special recognition to all of our service members at home and abroad. Cubs leading 7-0. Jeff Samardzija cruising along. Gave up a Connor Gillespie leadoff hit in the third inning. That's the only hit so far for the White Sox. A walk to Konerko in the fifth, the only other base runner.
Strikeouts becoming more frequently the last couple innings. He had 1 through 4. Now he's got 5. Cool night. Strong as can be. He's really positioned well to go the distance here tonight. Cub fans, this Thursday, May 30th, is Jersey Off Our Back Day at Wrigley Field. Don't miss the action. The Cubs battle the Sox at 1:20. Autographed game-worn jerseys will be awarded to lucky fans in random seats at the conclusion of the game. Compliments of Majestic. If it happens in baseball, it happens in Majestic. Purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Two, 3, and 4 for the White Sox. I like NL-style baseball better than American League ball, but it is nice tonight. Dale Swain doesn't have to worry about, when he has a 7-0 lead, he doesn't have to worry about a lot. Lofted out towards Soriano, still going back. Parks and makes the catch. But he can just go with Samardzija as long as he wants, and when he's done, he's done. Doesn't have to worry about his spot in the lineup when it comes up or anything like that. And remember, Dale played in the American League for a long time in Milwaukee. Coached with the Red Sox. Played here briefly with the White Sox. He was a teammate of Robin Ventura's. Ryan Amagroso is up.
Say that backwards, Harry.
Rizzo in foul territory gets Rios.
This is a pretty impressive show Samardzija's putting on here tonight. One man over the minimum faced. 73 pitches.
Two balls, no strikes.
They got him done. Likes to hit fastballs. He's going to get a fastball here. Samardzija will be aggressive with a 7-run lead. I think. How about that? Not going to give in a bit. And he shook 2 signs to get there. So as soon as he got the ball back, he knew immediately what he wanted to throw next. That's when a pitcher's kind of in the zone, locked in. He knows exactly what he wants to do. You're going along like Samardzija is. Not only do you know what you want to do, you can almost anticipate what the hitter's going to do with the pitch.
Outside, still throwing hard. 97 that time. 3-2.
Dick Pohl used to tell that great story about Greg Maddux going out to talk to Maddux on the mound, and Greg said, "I'm going to get him to pop up to third on the 3rd pitch," and sure enough, he did.
Swung on and missed. They go down in order again. 1, 2, 3.
people enjoy their music on the iPhone than any other phone.
Bonjour, je t'adore, c'est aujourd'hui et toujours, m'amour. How about me?
Here's to a life less routine. The more connected, athletic, seductive Lexus RX. Lease the 2013 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, with $26.99 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
MLB.com At Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Cubs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details. That man is running this show.
Here's Brian Omagrasso, third White Sox pitcher tonight. First two gave up multiple runs, Quintana and Jones.
Omagrasso, 28 years of age. He's worked his way up through the Sox organization, appeared in the big leagues last year for the first time, made 17 appearances, had no record in a .257 ERA last season, 7 appearances at AAA this year before joining the big club. Similar delivery to Jones, too.
That is 0-1. Misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, here's a question. So if the Cubs hang on tonight, they're leading 7-0. They win tomorrow. It's a series sweep, right? Even though it's 4 in a row against the White Sox. When you change venue, that's a new series.
Yeah, that's right. I guess it is, yeah.
Him off the plate.
Fastball, slider, curve change for Omagrasso.
Way up in the air. Boy, hazy sky tonight. I don't know about you, but I lost it at one point. De Aza did not.
That's like the homer in the Gloman. Only it wasn't a homer. It was a catcher.
Ransom 0 for 3. Heaters low.
Omagrasso, born in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. It's football territory. Pitched at Indiana State.
Another one up into the Gloman. This will be a homer in the Gloman. Really flows, doesn't it? But pop out to second.
Pop out in the Gloman, yeah.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't quite get it.
Time now for Avis slow-mo replay. Ryan Sweeney thrown out by Diane Viciedo.
Trying to sneak around the tag of Flowers there, but really had nowhere to go. The ball there in plenty of time.
Right center. Slicing a bit, helping out De Aza. So Omagrasso goes 1-2-3. White Sox will bat, trailing 7-0.
Sometimes going to new places
is the only way to truly arrive. Going new places. That's how we fly. Beginning June 2nd, Southwest Airlines is offering new nonstop service from Midway to Wichita, starting at $99 one way. Book now online, only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Great day for a move.
Yeah, you want to help?
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, I still owe you that $500.
Yeah, and a lawnmower. You've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll hook up your new pad with phone and super fast internet, and you can get that whole home DVR upgrade for free. I just saved you over $500. It's like you owe me now.
The Movers Deal. Call now to bundle, plus get our most advanced DVR upgrade for free.
It's our pride in the red, white, and blue. It's our commitment that always comes shining through. It's everything that you need. The hardest working people in America find value at Farm and Fleet.
You're watching Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan with a Sportsnet Central update. Todd Hollingsworth, Bill Melton join me for reaction and analysis after the final out on Postgame Live. That as soon as the Blackhawks-Red Wings game goes final, Blackhawks Postgame Live with Pat Boyle and Steve Conroy. Hawks and Wings currently tied at 1 in the second period. Now back to the South Side with Len and JD. Guys?
Cap, thank you very much. Paul Konerko. Digging in, let's check out our lows. Never stop improving. Home run number 400. 1 year ago today, 2012, in Oakland. Now has 427 in his career. He's tied for 44th with Mike Piazza on the all-time list. Soriano having trouble in the Glowman. I guess the idea right now is to hit the ball in the air. Nobody can see it.
Hit it high and run like crazy. Paul Konerko now just 28 home runs behind Frank Thomas for the all-time franchise record here with the White Sox.
Yeah, some young White Sox fans may not remember that Paul Konerko also played with the Dodgers and Reds. All but 7 of his homers have been with the Sox.
And I remember when he first came up, he struggled a little bit. And there were some around baseball, you know, this guy he's got one swing, he doesn't make adjustments. So quick to give up on a young kid if he doesn't impress early on.
Well, 55 games, 2 years with the Dodgers. Konerko hit .212. 1 year, 26 games with the Reds, hit .219. But he's hit .284. With a solid OPS. Well above average with the White Sox.
Yeah, and I think what happens with the Dodgers, you know, there were so many, they brought so many young guys through their system who put up huge numbers at Albuquerque, and when they brought them to the big leagues, they disappointed. And so that kind of became the storyline that, well, you put up these big numbers in the Pacific Coast League and it's inflated, and I think Konerko suffered a little bit from that when he initially struggled at the big league level.
No struggles tonight for Jeff Samardzija. He has been nasty from the outset, and he's putting together possibly the best start of his career.
Yeah, you get the sense watching him, he could go about 13 shutout here tonight.
Well, there's your AT&T UVerse multi-view. Probably the first time we've ever just done pitcher, catcher, batter. There's just not much going on for the White Sox.
Gillespie, the kid in the box now, the only base hit of the game for the Sox. A leadoff single, a little line drive to right. In the third, it was a clean single, so there's no debating that. He was erased on a double play ball. The only other base runner, a one-out walk to Konerko in the fifth.
And stuff and location.
And stubbornness, too. I mean, the 2-0 slider he threw done last inning. I mean, that just tells you that's a guy who's locked in. He's saying, don't give me this nonsense about a comfortable lead. Challenge him. I know what I want to do, and I know what's working for me, and I'm going to do it.
One career complete game for Samardzija. That was his final start of last year. 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned at Pittsburgh on September 8th. Needed 120 pitches to do it. Hasn't even hit 90 yet with 2 outs in the 8th tonight. Had his camouflage cap on about 3.5 hours before the game. Wandering around the Cubs clubhouse, bouncing around the clubhouse. He does not brood on the days he starts.
No, he's just a player. He's a player who happens to pitch. None of this prima donna, don't talk to me, or I'm gonna, sequester myself from the world because I have to pitch today. He really chose the right sport, because in football he'd only get to play once every 7 days. Here he's out there every 5th day.
In football, he would just catch the ball. Here he can throw it too.
Wants to go in, or he wants Wellington to set up in a little bit.
Lazy fly ball to left. Through 8, Samardzija shutting him out on 1 hit. We'll go to the 9th, 7-0.
The men and women who serve our country. And because they stand for us, Denny's salutes the troops. America's Diner is proud to serve the men and women who serve America. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open.
Denny's red, white, and blue plate specials are as American as apple pie. Especially the apple pie French toast. Try it with our new mild or bold coffee roasts. Only at Denny's.
Save big money during Menards' 11% sale.
Receive an 11% rebate on all your purchases all this week.
Create a new look with Citation. Arrowhead Turf is 39 cents a square foot after 11% rebate. Update your home with Crestline. A single hung or sliding window is $119 after 11% rebate.
Hurry in now and save big